Hello and welcome back to another live, people. Welcome back to another West Ham United versus Arsenal match preview. Or Arsenal versus West Ham, who fucking cares? Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm actually so close to 800. Thank you for the support as of today. As well, it's been bare people that have subscribed just from today's stream. So thank you very much if you come from Lewis or Northside's channel over the past few hours as well. And my mic is so far away from my computer, I just realised. Anyway, now my mic is here. You can fucking hear me now. But listen, back with another preview. Like the stream, people. We're back again with the most regular feature on the channel, people. You should know who he is already. If you don't, his link is in the title. Alfie, welcome back. How you doing, man?
I'm feeling good. It's Friday. It's the weekend, so everyone looks forward to the weekend. I'm here for vibes.
Of course, man. Of course, bruv. It is pure vibes this weekend for me because fuck tomorrow, bruv. Straight up, yeah. I've been on a press run today, bro. I've done 2 streams on this channel. Been on Josh's channel today. And yeah, my thoughts are pretty much the same. Like negativity, don't like going Arsenal away ever, despite winning last year. Since we beat you, you've put 11 goals past us in 2 games. 11, yeah. Was it? Did you beat us 6-2 or 5-2? Last game.
5-2, I think.
5-2. That was all done. Was that all done in the first half?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, Lopetegui's a terrorist. Like 5-2 in the first half. 5-2 in the first half is crazy, by the way. But fuck me, man. But listen, Alfie, I need to get your thoughts on the game because I know what I've seen your match reaction already, but for the people, your match preview already. But for the people that haven't seen it, and like your point of view, yeah, obviously you're quite half glass empty when it comes to Arsenal this season. We know your stance on Arteta. Like, what is your feelings coming towards this game?
At the end of the day, a win's all I ask for. I'm not being funny. At this moment in time, my stance hasn't changed in terms of us not winning anything this season. I feel like that's dead in the water. That's done. We've got no chance of that. We didn't strengthen in the transfer window, and we're being made to pay for that, despite the fact Liverpool have dropped points the other day. We're not going to catch them. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Because we've got a tendency to bottle it. And yes, I have seen that people have said that Liverpool have got a tendency to bottle it as well. But the difference is that's a way different Liverpool team to the ones that used to go for league titles.
Yeah.
There's something different about this Liverpool team. Look at for about 10, 15 minutes before Liverpool actually equalised the other night, I actually thought Villa were going to beat them. I thought they were going to get 3 points, but that just goes to show that even if we tried catching Liverpool at this point, we couldn't.
Yeah, sure. You have a good point there. Like, a lot of people are doing mental gymnastics, doing if buts and maybes. We've had 2 interesting perspectives today. We had Hooks on today. Hooks is a very half glass full, puts his chest out, and he's pretty much like, ain't over till it's over type of person, but he's not one to hide from the responsibility of criticizing the club either. Northside's very like, it's over. I'm kind of sick and tired of the same thing every season in, season out sort of thing. Very critical of Arteta and the club as he always is. From your perspective, obviously a lot of people are saying like people mention Liverpool, the Villa game, and them going to Manchester City this weekend whilst you're setting a precedent by playing us. That's how people are looking at it because you're playing the first game out of the 2. So do you see the points gap being closed like this weekend? And then do you see yourself capitalising upon that facing Nottingham Forest afterwards?
I feel like with the way that Liverpool have been, I feel like come 5 o'clock on Friday, or tomorrow, sorry. Come 5 o'clock tomorrow, we'll have closed the gap, but only momentarily. Because I know for a fact that Liverpool are probably going to go to the Etihad and beat City. Because City's heads are going to be down. They're out of the Champions League now.
Yeah.
They've not really got much to look forward to other than top 4 and the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So we'll only close the gap momentarily, but that's all it will be. It will be them either dropping points in the earlier game and then us bottling it, or us closing the gap and then them opening it again. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I feel like it's too big of a gap for like I've always said this. The reason why I never really worried about Arsenal winning the league is it's a bit like why I don't think West Ham are going to get relegated, because we're 10 points ahead, and Leicester, Ipswich, Wolves aren't winning 4 games in a row. As much as we're probably going to lose 4 games in a row, we're capable of that. They're not capable of winning 4 games in a row. Same way, I don't. As much as people have been in my chat all day talking about how Arsenal haven't won 4 games in a row this season either, which I didn't know about before today. But also, Liverpool aren't dropping points 4 games in a row either. They're going to find something. And people always say, oh, but they're playing Newcastle. We saw what City did to Newcastle at home. Newcastle turned up at their own ground against the big teams. They're not going to turn up at Liverpool away. Their record against Liverpool shit anyway. They're not winning at Anfield. If they draw there, I'll be surprised as well. However, Liverpool did look shaky against Wolves. They actually were quite lucky to win. They were very lucky to win in the end. But Wolves played a fucking defensive midfielder up front. Doing an Arsenal, funny enough. But speaking on that, obviously Marino scored a brace in the last game.
For fuck's sake, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it.
but serious question though, what do you even do in the front three? Like, you got Nwaneri, Trossard, and Sterling. But does Marino come into the picture? Because Sterling was fucking terrible.
Well, I mean, it seemed to work. Yes, I know, Prime. It seemed to work in the final 15, 20 minutes against Leicester. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be the same situation that we've had for the past 3, 4, 5 fucking years. Square pegs, round holes, playing players in the positions that they don't play in.
Yeah.
We're doing it right now. We're playing Lewis Skelly at left back, who's a centre mid. Other than that, we're playing Calafiori there, who's naturally a centre back. Timber's naturally a centre back. He's playing at right back. We're playing Partey at right back sometimes. All we're doing is just square pegs, round holes.
Yeah. So, do you start him?
I don't, personally, no.
What would your front three be?
Personally, I go with the same front three that started against Leicester.
So, Sterling keeps his place?
Give him 45. If he's shit, hook him.
And then put Marino on?
Yeah.
Does it come to a point? I know you're in a title race. It's kind of bad that you're in a title race when you're coming in these situations. I know you don't think you're in a title race, but like, it's kind of bad that you're in a title race and you're coming to the solutions of trying to find internal solutions. So does it come to a point where you've got to look at an academy graduate up front?
I mean, see, that's the thing that bothers me is the fact that he had Butler Oyedeji on the bench against Leicester. He could have easily brought him on instead of Marino.
Yeah.
But because he hasn't got a fucking clue what he's doing, he's still trying to act like he's Pep, but he's not. He's playing fucking Marino at centre forward.
A lot of people would say it worked, though.
A lot of people would say it worked, but at the same time, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Fair enough. I said doing the Arsenal, so you're saying super duper generational Mikel Arteta is setting trends. To be fair, Alfie Partey being on the wing is a bad thing. Fuck's sake. Any chance we get to slander Thomas Partey, it's always there. As I always say on this channel, it's him and David Coote that probably get cooked the most on this channel. And to be honest, David Coote probably doesn't deserve it as much as Thomas Partey does. But at the same time, those are not always the go-to that get cooked on this channel. I always make a David Coote joke.
You're not Suchek.
No, to be fair, it actually isn't. Funny enough, especially as of recently. And to be fair, I probably slander Ben Johnson and Calvin Phillips a lot more than them, than him and Soufal. I slander a lot of people. Lopetegui's up there as well. So there's quite a lot. Suchek might scrape the top 10. I slander too many people. Like slander way too many people. So it kind of depends in a way. But so this is the thing now. Sterling, Trossard, Nwaneri. None of these guys are strikers. Sterling's terrible off the left. Sterling's not even good on the right anymore because Sterling's just not good. But Sterling on the left would be coming up against an Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who always plays well against Raheem Sterling. Always. He's never not played well against Raheem Sterling. Wan-Bissaka's having his best season ever. Not best season ever, but one of his better seasons. Raheem Sterling's having his worst ever season. And I don't know how he's managed to top it from the Chelsea days, but he's having an even worse season this season. What do you do with the front? Do you play them exactly where they played last week?
Yeah.
Trossard up. Was it Wanyeri Trossard up front, Sterling on the left?
Or if not that, take a chance on Butler or Oyedeji, play him through the middle and have Trossard on the left.
Yeah, you don't have much choice right now, do you? Because Martelli's out,
No.
Havertz is out, Saka's out, Jesus is out.
Jesus out, yeah.
4 attackers. I feel like this just comes back to Arteta.
And we're sat there. We've got free agents who are available right now. Some of them have played for us in the past as well. I'm seeing names like Lucas Perez. Fucking Carlos Vela. Diego Costa. I'm seeing names like them brought up.
Carlos Vela still plays.
Yeah.
It's 2025, man.
Because he spent his prime playing in the MLS. That league is slow as shit.
Where's he going to play next? Like Power League?
Power League.
He might play Power League next. He might play for Good Bays or some shit. I don't know, man. Like, Carlos Vela. That's an Arsenal thing to do, though. Lucas Perez, by the way, that's one of the many former West Ham and Arsenal players.
Yeah.
I forgot this prick played for us. I can't call him a prick. He didn't do anything wrong, but why the fuck did we sign Lucas Perez? We signed him from you lot.
We signed him and he barely got a fucking game.
I mean, same for us, to be fair. The guy was just there. I think he actually played in the game where we beat you 1-0 under Pellegrini. Because he was in that season, so I think he might have come off the bench.
Well, was that at home?
Yeah. That was the game we played you at home. Then again, I think he might have played in the
last winner.
Yeah. You know who assisted that?
Who?
Samir Nasri.
Oh my god.
Samir Nasri. Do you know how they come full circle?
I know. You just did the fucking Robbie punch. The mere mention of this name.
Bro, life is full circle. Bro, Samir Nasri, like, post-cheating on his girlfriend, played for West Ham just before he got the big belly, assisted it to Declan Rice, who now plays for Arsenal, under Manuel Pellegrini, who's still a crackhead at Real Betis, against Unai Emery, who's at Aston Villa. What the fuck is going on? Now, what the fuck is going on, bro? And this is the thing. This is why I'm not confident against Arsenal, though, because we don't beat you lot anyway. Like, we beat you lot last season, cool. That was an anomaly. And the Carabao Cup game you threw away. Like, you guys always throw away the cup. Like,
which is what pisses me off.
Don't get me wrong, that 6-0 is one of the most embarrassing games of West Ham United history, and so was the 5-2. Because the 6-0, we had Aged and Zuma. Zuma with no knees. Zuma's a good player, but no knees. And Aged is Naif Aged, spastic. We had Ben Johnson on the wing. But listen, Ben Johnson should be on the wing. He should be with Thomas Partey. Not because he's done anything wrong, but because of his footballing ability.
Well, impersonate the footballer.
Oh, definitely. It's fraud. It's complete fraud. That's a person I love to slander. That's a person I love to slander. And every time this guy plays for Ipswich, I'm always watching it. By the way, people don't understand how much of a hater I actually am. I always see the Ipswich lineups. I will be there tomorrow against Tottenham. Even when we're playing Arsenal, I will check the Ipswich lineup to see if he's playing. I will be checking. Him and Calvin Phillips, I am watching you very closely for the rest of your careers. I'm not going to stop hating until I get my apologies, which I probably will never get. Because this fan base was telling me to stop hating on Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson's better than Ben Johnson's better than Soufal. Well done. I'm better than Sufal, mate. I've probably got autism. I'm better than Sufal. Like, it's not hard to be better than Sufal. Like, I'm sorry, everyone in the chat, everyone watching this, everyone subscribe to the YouTube channel. Us two, we're all better than Vladimir Sufal. It's not difficult. We're all better than Ben Johnson as well. But this is the thing. I was thinking about this today, yeah. Every time I see Arsenal linked to a player, or Arsenal are interested in a player, most of the time they're probably not that good. Because I've seen Arsenal linked to Ben Johnson a couple of years ago, like 4 years ago, when he was at our club. I saw Arsenal and Tottenham linked to Ben Johnson. I was like, have him. Take him, please. Take him. And that's an Arsenal signing. Play right back, centre back, left back. He's not good in any of those positions, by the way. He's not good in any of them. He actually played against you when you beat Ipswich. I watched that game. Cooked again. He got cooked.
Yeah.
Like he always does.
I think that was our first game about Saka as well.
Yeah. Obviously, you guys are very known for like your defence the past couple of years at Arsenal. Is it more of a case tomorrow that you're banking more on your defence not to concede rather than your team to score, given the fact that you have more of your defensive players fit than your attacking players?
Yeah. I definitely think so.
Yeah, because like Lewis Kelly's been impressive. Like I've been asking like Hooks and Northside today, from your perspective of Lewis Kelly and Wanyeri, they've obviously taken their appearances by storm. Like, what do you think their ceiling is? How far do you think they can go? And how impressed have you been with them taking their chances, like over the past couple months?
I think they've been incredible.
Mm.
I think they have slotted into the team so well already. They've become an integral part of the Arsenal squad, and to do that at such a young age, to take the game by the scruff of its neck at that age.
Yeah,
I mean, you've seen the way that Lewis Kelly's been playing at left back. You saw when he played against Spurs, City. He played really well. He played well against Ipswich as well, giving it to Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
Wanyeri as well. League Cup, scored a brace first game he played this season.
Yeah.
Scored after a few appearances in the Premier League against Southampton, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Then recently he scored on his Champions League debut, and then scored also in the 5-1 win against City. He's been incredible.
Mm.
And at such a young age, to have that confidence at such a young age is incredible to see.
Oh, for sure. To add on to the relationship theory, Sam and Nasri cheated on his missus, but he got fat afterwards, so it didn't work for him.
Exactly.
So again, he tried to fix something that wasn't broken. So to add to the relationship theory, he should have stayed. He might not have been fat. He might have stayed, had a couple more years in the Prem. If he was in this area, he might have gone to Saudi and got the bag, but instead he was on the bag. Lewis Skettle. Bro, Yardman's gonna go crazy if we beat Arsenal tomorrow, which is very unlikely. Because my confidence going into this game is like fucked, man. Like I can't. Like listen, everyone. But it's nothing new to anyone else on this channel that watches me anyway. I don't predict to win any time for West Ham. I didn't predict to win again at home to Ipswich. I predicted a draw. This is the kind of person I am. You know this as well. You know this about you. You know me before YouTube. You know I'm not like positive about West Ham. But coming up against Arsenal away, like legit, apart from the Reece Oxford game and last year, we don't win there. And like I know years ago we won there with fucking Bobby Zamora and Robert Green pulling off a masterclass all them fucking years ago. But that was a long time ago. I was 4 years old. Like 3 years old. I was fucking I don't know what the fuck I was doing then. I was just like I was trying to get a DS then. I don't know. I don't remember what era that was. But 2006-07, this is what we're banking on, yeah? 2006-07, 2015-16, and last year, where it was a fluke. Because think about it, yeah? As much as we played somewhat well in that game, Arsenal missed bare chances in that game where we beat you 2-0. Like, Jesus should have had a hat-trick, minimum, in that game. I remember that game. Like, don't get me wrong, we kept Erdegaard quiet, we kept Saka quiet, but it didn't matter. Like, it was a fluke. We didn't do anything apart from the corner. And the first goal we conceded, you make your own luck in football, but Gabriel and Zinchenko should have done better for that goal anyway. And Ben White should have let the cross go in. And to be fair to Arsenal, as much as you guys haven't progressed as a team, you guys are better than that game. So, and we're worse than that. And I was complaining about last season. We're even worse now. As much as we're under Graham Potter now, it's going to take time for Graham Potter to install everything. Bro, he's barely got the first DLC. Like, this is a long way to go until he gets his, like, West Ham identity in. So we're far away from where we should be and where we need to be. What's your confidence going into the game? Like, I know you're not very confident about Arsenal. You're a bit like me when it comes to West Ham, but you're way better than us. So how do you see this game?
As I said in my match preview, for those who haven't watched, I've said that, yes, I'm not confident in terms of the rest of the season. And as I've said previously, that I'm just watching football for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Something to do. I still feel confident enough to think that we can come out of tomorrow's game with a win. Whether I believe it will be a scrappy win, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
But overall, just get the 3 points, in my opinion.
Yeah, because do you know what? I was thinking about this today. I know what I'm going to think tomorrow. When I look at the West Ham, when I look at the Arsenal lineup, I'm not going to be necessarily afraid of it. But when I look at the West Ham lineup, whatever it is, I'm going to be afraid of it. Because I'm more afraid of us than you. Like, I think we can keep you quiet if we defend properly because of how bad your attack is. But your defense is where I'm like, okay, maybe Arsenal fans maybe overrate their defense at times, but compared to our attack, is a complete mismatch because it's just Jared Bowen doing everything. It's just Jared Bowen doing all the work because Kudus has been shit. Evan Ferguson's new. Lewis Guilherme.
Do you reckon he'll start?
I think he should start. I don't think he will start. What you're talking about, Ferguson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he should start. I don't think he will. I think they'll start with Bowen up front and bring him off the bench. But I think he should start. He wants minute. He came in for minutes. Came in against Brentford as a sub. He made some good, like, typical number 9 runs. Start him. You might as well start him because I only want him to start really so Bowen plays in his actual position. But then again, he might just play Kudus in a false 9. But then again, because Paquetá's not there, he might play Ferguson. So I don't know because he hasn't played Bowen up front yet. Well, actually, no. He played Bowen up front against Chelsea, but I don't think he likes Bowen up front. But I could be wrong. Fuck's sake, I missed 16 out of 10 in the chat. Shout out to Ryan. Obviously, Ryan still trying to hold Arsenal league. It's Arsenal's league gimmick. Shout out to the flip flop Brian. But this is the thing when it comes to us. Like, again, I'm more afraid of us because I feel like we're the kind of team to make a mistake very early on, and that's kind of a bit of a trend when it comes to West Ham. You guys don't really score early like that anymore. Like, you guys used to do that a lot. Like last season and the season before, you guys used to score early. And 2 seasons ago, it used to be score early, kill off the game. Last season, it used to be score early, then control the game sort of thing, then defend. Now it's kind of, we'll see where we can get a goal. That's how it feels like watching Arsenal now. That's why I feel like you've drawn so many games. And for me, I just look at us and I'm looking at Edson Alvarez. I'm looking at if Mavropanos starts, which I don't think he should. I'm looking at our midfield in general. And hopefully Ariona's on it like he has been the past couple games. But
the problem with Arsenal's attacking situation at the moment, and even before we got all our injuries, is the fact that we're so one-dimensional in the way that we play.
Yeah.
We look for crosses, set pieces. We'll take anything that we can get.
Yeah.
I've said quite a few times now that before Arsene Wenger came along, we were called boring Arsenal. We're going back to that now.
Yeah.
Like,
listen,
come on,
like,
we want to go forward.
You used to complain about other teams being boring back in the day as well. Like, and now you've gone back there. You used to be the boring team. Then you complained about other teams being boring. Now you become that again. But I've said this. I feel like Arteta's gone. He's just a mess, man. He's just a mess. The reason why I say he's a mess is because you had a style of play where you were opening up teams, battering teams, attacking teams, etc. And yes, you did bottle it against us, Southampton, Liverpool, etc. But that didn't mean that, like, any normal manager And any manager of any form of experience and is not like, a spastic, would just capitalize on that style of play and then just tweak it a little bit. But rather than going back all the way to the other side and then just focusing on the defense and then taking away all the attacking prowess you had. Now, do I think that's why Martinelli and Jesus have downgraded? No, I don't. I just don't think they were good enough in the first place. I never thought Martinelli was outstanding, but I thought Martinelli was just good enough to play his part at Arsenal, and I thought Arsenal had a good left hand side options with Martinelli and Trossard. They've all downgraded, and we've discovered that Martinelli isn't what people think he is, and he's very one dimensional in his game. But also Trossard is better off the bench. So now you're looking at that in hindsight and feeling like, okay, those options ain't as good as we think yet they are. But at the same time, as I've said a million times before on streams with you and other people as well, if Gabriel and Saliba are so good, they're fine playing high up the pitch. Just buy another defender instead of Zinchenko, which I know that's what Timber was for. So they got unlucky with that. But when Xhaka went, Declan Rice is a great player, but Declan Rice isn't a Xhaka replacement. It didn't feel like you guys had a plan when you signed Declan Rice for me. Only the reason why is because Declan Rice is going to show his quality regardless because he's a good player. He's a really good player. But the way you guys play him, you either play too advanced or you play him as in a Partey role where you've got to be some form of playmaker. He's not that. And you're not seeing his best attributes. You're not seeing Rice stop counter-attacks anymore. You're not seeing Rice win the ball high up the pitch and tackle people. You're not seeing Rice a diagonal pass because Arsenal don't play that way. Arsenal don't want their midfielders to diagonal pass. That's what Rice used to be really good at for us, by the way, because people like to talk about Rice, how good is Rice in the press. For us, he was always good in the press. But we don't play three teams. So what he used to do is shimmy away from whoever's pressing him and hit it diagonally. So we can attack from the other wing when one side isn't going well. Arsenal don't play like that. But that's why I said you guys don't know what you're doing when it comes to Declan Rice. But staying on the topic of Declan Rice, what's your thoughts of him since he's been an Arsenal player, since the transfers happened, and now that we're 18 months into the transfer, what is your opinion of him when you look at Declan Rice and his progress and stuff like that?
I do feel like in moments since we signed him, he has been good. He has had his moments. I mean, obviously the ones that stick out to me, especially from last season, the goal against United early on, in his time at Arsenal, and the last-minute winner against Luton. Obviously, the goal against you guys at your place.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I do see a lot of differences in the way that Declan Rice plays. You can see that it's not the same Declan that we get in at West Ham. The way, as you said, would pick a diagonal pass, give a player the ball to run onto, get the attack flowing. It's just you're trying to get him to play as a playmaker. He's not that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll win you the ball and spray it, but he's not, as far as like picking out through balls, he's not that type of player.
No, he's not. He's not. You're spot on. Charlotte asks, Alfie, are you Arteta in if you win tomorrow?
I'm still going to be Arteta out, unfortunately, Charlotte. Sorry to disappoint. At the end of the day, I'm happy with what Arteta's done as Arsenal manager. Don't get me wrong; he's put us back into a competitive position.
Mm-hmm.
But at this moment in time, I think that's as far as he can take us. I don't think he's got what I don't think he's got what it takes to give us more.
Fucking hell. Hit 800 subscribers. Fucking what the
Big
fuck?
up! Yes!
Hey,
Get in there!
Hey, big up everyone here, man. I did not expect to fucking hit 800 on this stream. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much, people. Thank you so much. 200 more until the main goal, people. Listen, thank you for 800 subscribers. Means a lot, but I'm trying to get Alfie to 500. So if you like my channel, if you like this channel, you'll like Alfie's channel for sure. So subscribe to Alfie as well. We're trying to get him to hit 500, which is our goal that we hit last year. That's it. Hold on, I'll get to that comment in a sec. To be fair, Mike, Declan Rice was sad to be the Thomas Partey replacement. So now it's expecting Rice to go, Partey to go pen. I don't expect it to be like I'm not. Expect a Partey to be like I'm locked up and don't let they won't let me out like Akon, bruv. So that's the thing. If Partey went Penn, if Partey went Belmarsh, like he's like with Lil Durk and all that, and then Declan Rice filled in that role, you would look worse.
Yeah,
because then you'd have to play Rice and Marino, or because he's never going to play Rice, Wanyeri, Odegaard, or play a pivot. What he should be doing is playing the pivot of Rice and Partey, and then play Wanyeri in the 10. I just can't remember because Wanyeri is playing better than fucking anyone in your attack. And then Odegaard and the wingers. He's the guy. Like he shouldn't be playing every game, but he should be getting more of a chance than he has done. So there is also that as well. But like if, like I still like Declan Rice. I just didn't like. I wanted him to. We needed him to leave for the money, but at the same time,
you just don't like the way he's being utilized.
I don't. Like, I still like.
I completely agree. I feel like he can be used in a much better way that's beneficial for not only his development, but the team's development as well.
Yeah, honestly.
And to answer what Charlotte's just said, if I hear any more about this fucking dog, I've had enough.
I'm not. What's happened to that dog?
Tomiyasu's been walking it the past 6 months.
Has he actually?
I don't know. Probably has.
You reckon Nuno Tavares has shagged it again?
Fucking hell. I didn't know that he had.
He didn't shag Win, but he shagged the dog. You think I'm joking, don't you?
I do. No, you're lying.
I'm not. I'm being serious. Nuno Tavares shagged the dog. Don't look it up, but he did. Well, not shagged. He lips the dog, but he was licking it out, sort of thing. Like this is what people subscribe for. Let's say get the Malibu out, bro. The Malibu ain't ever returning. That stream is long gone. Even when we do 22nd birthday stream in July, the Malibu ain't ever coming out. I might get a Maggie's out back maybe one day. I've not had much alcohol this year, to be honest. I have some ciders in my house, but I haven't touched them. Alfie's link is here, people, as Prime put. So make sure to subscribe to Alfie, people. George asks, Alfie, if Arteta goes, would you be upset if the set piece coach leaves?
I'll get the set piece coach to take down his own mural. How about that?
Somebody whacked out my mural. That's the thing with it doesn't really matter because whoever's the next coach would get their own set piece coach, and you'd like to think because they're going to Arsenal and they'd be good enough, but that doesn't always mean that. Man said when Partey goes Pen, hey, do you know what it is? I feel like he would have been gone by now, but hey, the Spanish board, if you want to wake up, look, John, they're going to turn up here, like how they turned up again. To Eder Valencia, yeah. I don't know whether you know this story, but Eder Valencia wasn't paying child support. And, no, he wasn't paying child support. I don't know whether he was a West Ham player when this happened, but on international duty, the Ecuadorian police pulled up to an Ecuador game, and he was trying to fake be injured to escape the police. That's one of my favourite West Ham stories. I loved Eder Valencia at West Ham. I thought he was completely mistreated after the first season.
What a team that was, though. That West Ham team was sick. The Afro as well.
Oh, don't even get. That's one of my favorite West Ham. I don't care what people say. That's one of my favorite West Ham players ever. I love the Afro Sacco, man. This club killed him.
Zarate
kid. They interviewed Zarate on the club website. Talking about the Arsenal goal. That's how down bad we are. We're talking about Arsenal wins from 10 years ago. But shout out to Zarate. Arteta is a talent killer, Alfie. You agree?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, look at what look at Saka now. The evidence speaks for itself.
So, are you afraid that like people like Wanyeri and Lewis Skelly are going to become a victim of that as well?
Yeah. I am worried.
Yeah.
Which is why I say get him gone.
That's fair.
Because otherwise, we're going to be in this constant cycle of having players who, when they're younger, look brilliant on the pitch in terms of potential, and we look at how great they can be.
Mm.
But by 5-6 years into their career, they're fucked because they've either done their hamstring or, worst case scenario, they've fucked up their legs so badly they can't play.
Mm.
This is what we're running the risk of.
Yeah, and I feel like Arteta's doing that thing again, where let me play the academy kids just to get me out of trouble, like he did last time, like he did originally with Saka, Smith Rowe, and them lot. Because think about it, Smith Rowe never played again because he got injured and Odegaard was there. Saka played because, listen, you didn't have a better option than Saka. Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri are here now, but do you reckon like it could happen to them again? Like if Saka comes back, Wanyeri ain't coming back again.
And then other than that, obviously, yes, I know it sounds like I'm heaping a lot of my negativity towards the manager. And I do want to make it clear. I do not think that Arteta is the only one that's accountable for the mess going on at Arsenal.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of transfers, I feel like both the manager and the owner are accountable.
Yeah.
The owner in terms of not backing the manager, especially for this transfer window, not backing the manager financially, but also Arteta are being accountable for the quality of player that we sign. I feel like for me at this moment in time, Arsenal are still trying to sign players as if we're fighting for 8th place. We're meant to be fighting for a league title here.
That's fair, you know. And Kai has also put again, Tomiyasu is injured for the past year.
Exactly.
I forgot he played for you, I forgot he existed as a person until like the other day.
The last time I can remember seeing Tomiyasu in an Arsenal game was the second game of last season where he got sent off against Palace. That's the last time I can remember seeing him.
Fucking hell, that was a long time. That was like start of last season, wasn't it?
Start of last season, Tomiyasu got sent off. Last time I remember seeing him.
Prime said his window dog and woman because maybe Thomas did. Kai has put again, just wait until Madrid comes to the Emirates. Imagine Don Carlo here in North London forever. Don Carlo's eyebrow is just going to be like...
That's if we even get past PSV, mate. Look how much trouble we caused ourselves when we played against Porto.
I want to ask you, actually, what do you think of the draw?
To be fair, at the end of the day, it didn't really matter who we got. Because at the same, yes, PSV and final may look easier on paper.
Yeah.
But a football game's not played on paper.
Yeah. They just had Van Persie as well for Feyenoord.
Exactly. And that's why I've said, that's even if we get past PSV, should we even be worrying about Madrid? And even then after that.
Yeah. If you had Feyenoord, would you have been on another side of the draw?
I think so.
So, I don't know who they're facing. Are they facing Inter?
Yeah, they've got Inter. Feyenoord have got Inter.
Oh, okay. So, bro, do you know what? That's the worst next fixture you can get if you get past PSV, you know? Because let's say even Atletico beat Real. Fucking hell, Simeone. Simeone, is serious when it comes to knockout games, man. That Madrid derby is going to be by far the best fixture of the lot. Simeone is serious. He's not even just a defensive manager either, but he's
I feel like the Leverkusen Bayern game would be good as well.
Yeah, it will be. My only thing is though, Xavi Alonso, the way he approaches away games, man, he goes way too defensive, man. Company did a job on him. They drew 0-0 the other day. Company did a job on him, so that'll be interesting though. All the games look really good though. Liverpool PSG is a good game. That Barcelona Benfica one again, they drew 5-5 last time they played or some shit, or 4-4, whatever it was. Omar's probably shitting himself. Back out the Malibu of West Ham beat Arsenal. I'm not buying another bottle of Malibu. I smelt a bottle of Malibu again the other day. I got PTSD from the fucking stream, not gonna lie. I can't lie. I got PTSD from that whole thing. Yeah, Alfie, but look at what your set piece coach has done for the club.
What do you want? Do you want trophies or do you want to play like Stoke City?
George is that Liverpool fan, I think. But yeah,
honestly, to be fair, do you want to win trophies or play like Stoke City?
Yeah, Joy is as well.
I know which one I'd rather.
If you were good at set pieces, but you're also opening up teams, I don't think people would be talking about it so much.
See, the thing is, it's not that we can't open teams up. The players that we've got can open up teams, shoot
Yeah.
from distance.
Mm.
I'm seeing, as soon as we drew PSG, I'm seeing a goal that Erdegaard scored against them last season.
Yeah.
Why isn't he doing that more?
Like, what's your opinion on Erdegaard now then? Like, because he doesn't shoot from outside the box enough, in my opinion. But like,
he's gone missing. He's gone missing. Simple as.
mm.
He's been poor. He's not the same player he was last season, and certainly not the same player he was 2 seasons before that. He's not been. He's not been good enough this season.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound like it at all. I'll be real.
Hugging the touchline constantly, game in, game out, or fucking about with his hair. That's all you'll get from Erdegaard during 90 minutes.
Fair. You think Arteta and them men help party bus case? Fuck's sake, man. I don't know. Fuck knows, bruv. Maybe they're moving like OVO. Get win, a brother, sister, and call it nothing. Arteta will never leave Arsenal, says J1. Shout out to Kyle in the chat. Yes, Mikes. Didn't Sacco book his own medical and fail it? Yeah, he did. He did because he wanted to get out of West Ham so bad because they mistreated him. So he went to Rennes, booked his own medical and failed that medical. Funny enough. But that's the thing. We kept trying to replace Diafra Sacco even though we didn't need to. It's just Slaven Bilic was a fucking idiot and kept playing him on the right-hand side to facilitate Andy Carroll. And then when Carroll wasn't there, and listen, I love Andy Carroll as well, but he was just never fit. But when Andy Carroll wasn't there, he never played Sacco. Kept playing Sacco on the right to facilitate Carroll. Put it this way, when we were good in the 15-16 season, he was still playing Sacco on the right, Mikel Antonio at right back, and Pai and Lanzini were doing all the work. Them two and Cresswell down the left-hand side. So we was very left-sided heavy anyway. Because relying on a guy who was signed as a left winger from Forest, Mikel Antonio, to play at right back. Because our right back options were Carl Jenkinson, another former Arsenal player, and James Tompkins, who's a good centre-back, but wasn't a right back. He did okay at right back, but he wasn't a right back. And Joey O'Brien, who was about 37. Look what he's done to Martinelli. Martinelli was thriving when Emery first brought him in. Last 2 years, he's been awful. What's happened to him?
Again, it's the same old problems.
Mm.
I mean, as we've said, we spoke about a lot before, there was an obvious link up between Xhaka and Martinelli in that one season before Xhaka left.
Yeah,
there was a massive link up between the two, and since then he's not been the same player because we haven't found the replacement.
So do you reckon it was just Xhaka that did most of his work then that kind of benefited him, and he just kind of went under the radar with how much he benefited Martinelli?
It looks that way.
Because I thought that's what Marino was meant to be signed for.
And that's another situation in itself. The situation being we went to Sociedad and came back with the wrong midfielder. And now it's only after the January transfer window is finished that we're linked with Zubimendi. Why didn't you go and sign him in the summer?
But I haven't even heard anything about Zubimendi since that Man United game.
Neither have I. Neither have I.
I thought he was that deal. They were making it out like that deal was done. Apparently, Ethan Wanyeri can't be in the changing room because it's a safeguarding issue. Thoughts, Alfie?
I mean, I guess it's understandable. He's still under the age of 18.
Part two. Saka's never going to be the same again.
No. I'll be surprised if Saka comes back in March or April or whenever he comes back and he's the same exact player he was before his injury. I highly doubt it. I feel like he'll have to change the way he plays drastically.
Alfie, I was saying this earlier. We were saying it from the start of this for a start of the GVO show that Arteta was going to run him into the ground. And look what's happened now. Why can we see this? And this goes for every club, by the way, because I feel like fans, even though fans aren't geniuses or anything, because we watch our club week in, week out, and we don't have the same access as the managers do from the training grounds, but I feel like a lot of parts of each fan base of every club in the world can probably say this. Why can we see these things and the managers can't? Because you see, Arteta probably can see it. The problem is that it makes it even worse. Arteta can see it and he carries on to play him. So because he's like, it's still Saka. He'll make it through the 90 minutes. He'll make it through the 90 minutes. I know Arteta played in a different era of football, but isn't it common sense that as a former player, most managers are former players, unless you're like a Maurizio Sarri, who wasn't a former player, that if you play this a player like this too many times in that many competitions, that they're going to burn out. And he was a young player at one point as well. Like, should he relate it back to from a human point of view about how he would have wanted to be treated as a young player?
Yeah, and not to mention the fact we're going into a season where we're going to be playing even more games now because we've got the new Champions League format.
Yeah.
You'd think any other manager or any smart manager in this case would see that if there's more games, you bring in a replacement to play the game so one of your higher regarded players can get a rest. But no, he instead plays him either too many minutes when he starts, or in games where he doesn't start, bring him on when it's pointless.
So, do you think that has played part to blame in his development of Martinelli as well? Do you think Martinelli would have been a better player if he had a different coach, or do you think this is what he is? Do you think we don't talk about how much Arteta has played Martinelli? Do you think he was affected by the Trossard move as well? Or do you think, as we mentioned earlier, it was purely the Xhaka partnership? Because Martinelli was always touted as something before that direct formation of playing 4-3-3 down that same side of Zinchenko and Xhaka. So, like, you watch Arsenal year in, year out, week in, week out, you've seen Martinelli grow. Do we not talk about him as well enough when it comes to his development and the amount of times he's played? Was he overplayed, or is it a completely different situation to Saka?
I think it's a combination of things when it comes to Gabriel Martinelli. I feel like you look at all of the aspects that you've named there, the likes of his confidence could have been shot after the Trossard move. Obviously, he did have an injury problem, I believe. You look at the Xhaka situation, which we've spoken about in depth, and we're also looking at the possibility of him playing too many games. And I feel like it could be a combination of reasons as to why Gabriel Martinelli's output so far has been nothing compared to what we were seeing 2 seasons ago.
Fair enough, man. Because I'll be real. I like to think, because I watch a lot of like different clubs, I like to think I know what the reason is most of the time. With Martinelli, I can't figure it out. I just sometimes think it's even harder to figure out, in my opinion, when we're in a system-based game where half of it sometimes when it comes to players, it's if they don't have this player or this profile of this type of player next to them, they don't do well, which is kind of shit with the way you look at things. It's kind of where football is right now. If one player doesn't have a certain other player, they don't benefit, which is kind of shit in itself. I do think, even though I brought up the Trossard thing, if it is because of the Trossard thing, he's a pussy. Like, because if you're a player, yeah, and someone's been signed in your position, that should turn you up, not turn you off. Like, it shouldn't put you down. Trossard coming in should only motivate you. Because it's not like Martinelli was doing bad then when Trossard signed. It was actually when he was doing his best. But there was an opportunity for Arsenal to sign Trossard because he fell out with, I think it was Potter. He signed him in 2023, right? So it was De Zerbi.
Yeah.
De Zerbi fell out with him because De Zerbi fell out with him.
Chelsea.
Yeah, because Mitoma was just coming through as well. So they were fine with selling Trossard because that was when Mitoma had his purple patch. Shout out to Kyle as well. Super George Earthy today from Bristol City. George Earthy's a loanee from West Ham. He came on today against Middlesbrough and scored 2 goals. So congrats. Big up to George Earthy. By the way, Mohamed Kudus, Lucas Paquetá, pack your bags because this guy's about to return next season. If you keep playing the way you are this season, Potter's not going to look at you. He's going to look at George Earthy. This guy is one of the best players to come out of our academy in years. So man can talk about, George Earthy is not doing well for Bristol City and all that. The current manager of Bristol City is Liam Manning. Liam Manning was West Ham academy coach years ago when, guess who he managed? George Earthy. So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to manage him. So when he does come back in the summer and he does outperform Lucas Paquetá, Mohamed Kudus, don't be surprised. So Kudus, Paquetá, unless you want to learn Chinese, Like, fucking fix up, man. Arteta killed. Shout out to Kai again. Arteta killed Jesus' career. Look at Jesus when he was at City to now. When we signed Jesus, I was excited. He's done his ACL twice at Arsenal. Arteta has killed Jesus' career. Just from my perspective, I feel like obviously the first ACL wasn't his fault, wasn't Arteta's fault. But you know when someone's come off an ACL, you don't play him the way you play him. You don't overdo someone's work the amount of work they're doing on the pitch week in, week out. That's on Arteta.
Yeah.
That specific part is on Arteta for me because like it's just so difficult to look at when like it's one of the most easiest things to do is rotate someone. I know you haven't got many options, but I feel like if you really wanted more options at your club, you would demand more options at your club. So there's also that as well. But from your perspective, do you agree with what Kai's saying?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Because you look at the way Gabriel Jesus was pre-World Cup, he was incredible.
Yeah,
he was an incredible. He was an incredible addition to the squad. Hit the ground running straight away. Even before the season had started, I remember watching the pre-season game against Nuremberg, and he turned up in that, come off the bench, scored a couple of goals. You're looking at it like, okay, maybe we've got a decent player here. But then after his injury at the World Cup, you kind of thought, okay, maybe it won't work out this season. Let's see how it goes next season.
mm-hmm.
And then he was dipping in and out of the team. Then decided that Kai Havertz was going to be his striker. Now Gabriel Jesus has said, "I've never been a number 9," and now he gets injured again. It's just the same problem every single time, and it's getting boring to see now.
Chelsea are in the same positions as Elliot. My football club, when I saw winning titles is finished, we could have got Thomas Tuchel, Antonio Conte, but we got Maresca. And Thomas done something to win. So he would probably. Fuck's sake! Hey, no, I'm not gonna make that joke. Never mind. I will never forgive Todd Bowley for sacking Thomas Tuchel. Imagine Simeone, he will outclass us, bro. You know what it is. You're gonna get a different type of lesson no matter which Madrid you come up against, because with Real Madrid, it's purely based on inevitableness. I don't know if that's the word, inevitability or whatever.
Yeah.
With Real Madrid, Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo. If it's not them three, it's fucking Bellingham. If it's not him, it's Camavinga. Like it's long day. But if you see Atletico, they will destroy you by being pricks, but also having the ability to destroy you on the pitch as well with Alvarez and fucking Griezmann, probably the most underrated player in the 2010s, because Griezmann was playing in an era when there was Messi and Neymar and Ronaldo and fucking Suarez and Bale, and he was just a guy at Atletico doing this job, and he's been like that. Even then, they've got players that always turn up and they have way too much experience to falter. That's going to be a bloodbath if that fixture has happened. That would be entertaining for the neutral. Like, I think a lot of people are saying that Atletico will get over the line against Real Madrid, but I don't know. That was hard to call for me because as good as Real Madrid are, it's still Simeone.
Yeah,
I think Real Madrid might just edge that, but we'll come to that when we come to that. I feel Liverpool fans have got trophies. Trophies are coming soon. Though look at what Arteta's going with an injured squad. He's still got a second.
That's a fluke. Look how shit the league's been this season. City, well off it.
Yeah.
Chelsea, nowhere near. Liverpool, obviously steamrolling at the moment. They're doing what they need to do.
Odegaard is the worst captain in Arsenal history. Don't forget the arm wave selfie. Come on, get up for it, guys. Get up for it. Why does he always do that, man?
I've already said we should take the captaincy off of him.
Give it to Gabriel.
Yeah.
He's a proper captain. Like, it's not even just a whole shouting nonsense. He's an actual captain. But people have been saying he should be captain for years before Odegaard even got it. So I don't know why he didn't get it, but people also say because he doesn't know English.
And then if we look at in terms of captaincy, in terms of how long a player's been here, Gabriel was here longer.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. There for
Fair
6 months
enough, by
longer than
6 months.
Odegaard.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. It's by 6 months, but he was there.
Mm.
He's been here longer.
Mm. Thoughts on D, the Crystal Palace fan saying Crystal Palace are bigger club than West Ham. West Ham are no, but that's funny. I don't think Crystal Palace can say they're bigger than anyone. I'll be real. I think Crystal Palace are the same size as like Good Mays FC. If you guys don't know, Good Mays FC is my local Sunday League team that I used to play for in like 2014. Played Sunday League, travelled to Barley Lane to play football. I think Crystal Palace are as big as like. I think they should be chatting to teams like Dagenham and Redbridge, Southend, Hartlepool. Them man. Them kind of teams. I mean, because that doesn't even piss me off because like I know I've seen some of these stuff and
Talking.
very much delusional. Yeah, Dorking. They should be chatting to Bromley. Like they're local.
Yeah.
Bromley, Southeast, like
Charlton,
like Millwall. Like that's your caliber team. You're overachieving by existing. Forget being in the Premier League. You're overachieving by existing. Like I can't lie. I don't think Crystal Palace can chat to anyone. I'll be real. Like I think because the thing is, Crystal Palace. A lot of Crystal Palace fans, even though we're not rivals, see finishing above West Ham as an achievement because they're not like the lowest finishing London club because that's all they want. That's all they want to be because like they're clearly not trying to win anything. And they'd find a way to lose that Conference League that we won. Because if we're so small, then why have we got 3 FA Cups? Why have we got a Cup Winners' Cup? Why have we got a Conference League? Crystal Palace. Okay, can someone remind me what have Crystal Palace won in their history? I'll give you 30 working days to work out how much Crystal Palace have won in their history. Come back to me.
Not a lot.
Hold on. Joy, I think I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to Google it together. Give me a second, guys. Let's go on Google. Crystal Palace trophies. Let me just share my screen. So, guys, this is Google. Basically, this is what you could do. Basically, Google is for all the Crystal Palace fans because I'm going to use this as a clip. I don't think Crystal Palace fans have brain cells, so I'm just teaching you guys. Like, Crystal Palace trophies, you can search this up on Google. Let's see what comes up. And the first thing that comes up is runner-up. End of conversation. Thank you very much for this TED Talk. So, yeah, I don't think Crystal Palace are above anyone. Charlotte,
the last thing they got to of any importance was the FA Cup final in 2016.
Yeah, and Alan Pardew was dancing like a paedophile.
After punching, scored.
Yeah, he was dancing like this. Like, bro, I can't lie. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. Like, I get trying to keep this up on YouTube, trying to talk with Chest and stuff. And listen, like, I rate the game's the game, but I can't lie. You're just kind of making yourself to look even more delusional than you actually are. So, with all due respect, you're Crystal Palace. And this is the thing. I'm not even one of them patronising fans like you're a small club and all this, but at least have some respect, like because Bournemouth are a small club to like fans and stuff. But look what Bournemouth are doing. Bournemouth fans can chat to me because we should be doing what Bournemouth are doing right now. So if you're a Bournemouth fan, I would understand if you were giving me shit for no reason because I respect you because you're at least trying to achieve something. Because in the next year's time, I think these Palace fans are going to be doing this whole Steve Parish out thing and all that. They win a couple games. I don't hear any talk about them complaining about their owners. So there you go. Charlotte, that D and this Palace people in their stream were telling me that Wharton's a world-class player. This is the thing. Wharton's a fantastic player, but he's not going to be world-class. I think we should ban the term world-class from talking about football in 2025 because this era of football shit, I think I can name you probably at least maybe 2 people that are world-class that are below the age of 27 because a lot of the world-class players that are already world-class are old. They're like Salah. They're like Van Dijk. The players like that, like De Bruyne. The players have already done it. Players at the back end of their career. A lot of players aren't world-class now. Saka's going to be back by March, Alfie. Arteta's trying to bring him back by March. I don't want to see Saka play at all this season. Do you know what? I'll be real. I'm not an Arsenal fan, of course, but I think that's the best thing to do. For me, I know Arteta's not going to do that, is he? But like at the same
No, it's
time,
not.
for the sake of him to develop as a player and to grow, you can't just keep like rushing players back like of that caliber. J1 Johnson, because Saka's a world-class player, is one of the best players in the world. That's why he has to play every minute of every single game. But you also need to give him a type of competition where he doesn't actually need to play that much. Mike and Alfie, they told me Champions League football attracts world-class players. Where are the world-class players? The only big signing we made is Declan Rice.
Literally.
I think Alfie echoes a lot of what you're saying, Kai. Alfie, have you watched Inside Goodness on TalkSport?
Not that I know of, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Educate us, George. Educate us. Declan Rice is our Twitter. He follows Lee Gunner on Twitter. That's so funny that he follows Lee Gunner. It's so funny. Like, because if Lee Gunner puts out a tweet about him, Rice will see it. Shout out to the Villa fan as well. Pray for Real Madrid. Hey, shout out Charlie as well. I can't wait for us to get cooked.
Funnily enough, as well, I saw this, obviously, the draw happened today. I was seeing that after we found out that our potential opponent in the quarterfinal would be Real Madrid if we got through against PSV. I'm seeing Arsenal posting about on this day, Thierry Henry scored the goal in the Bernabeu. Fucking history merchant FC. I've had enough of it.
I could be wrong though. I don't mean to call you out, but wasn't it you that referred back to when we were talking about this months ago about Real Madrid? You was referring back, but we did beat them at the Bernabeu once with Thierry Henry, and I was saying that was 20 fucking years ago. Was that not you?
No.
You got an eidetic memory, so I just making sure, bro.
I don't think it is.
I hope not, but I don't. I feel like that was brought up at one point, but that's the thing. Arsenal fans, online, bro, you don't have Thierry Henry anymore. No. I understand, like, if you think like cool. Like, I understood Hooks' reasoning earlier today about what he thinks of the Champions League and stuff, but at the same time, I don't know. You don't have Henry, bruv. Big up everyone. Shouts at 300 as always, bro. What are your thoughts on Vinicius Junior and Vinny?
I was waiting for this.
If people don't get the reference, I don't think I have. I'm gonna. It's gonna take a bit of time.
Just play the fucking clip.
It's gonna take time for me to download it, but I'll give you context in a second. Basically, Alfie had a fucking stinker. But I'm trying to find it. There it is. There's the TikTok.
A cataclysmic stinker, might I add.
It is one of the biggest stinkers in YouTube history. But not in YouTube history, because Ryan's 16 out of 10 is probably the biggest, and it always will be. I could say that West Ham play in fucking orange, and it still wouldn't be as much of a stinker as the 16 out of 10. I'm just going to download the clip real quick. Shout out to everyone that's here, by the way. Make sure you're leaving a like on the video while you're waiting. And subscribe. I'm sorry that I'm late to some of your comments, but the chat is popping off today, so that's why I'm taking time. For what's it called?
Not only that, also on stream today, we've just seen that Max has hit 800 subs. Big up, big up.
Unless someone's unsubscribed, but regardless, we're gonna hit if someone has unsubscribed, we've hit 800 subs regardless in the near future.
If you're that person that's unsubscribed, you're a dickhead. And I hope you have a very, very bad weekend.
Put it this way, if someone hasn't done it now, they're going to do it. Just to piss me off. But at the same time, we're going to hit 800 subscribers. So much appreciated, people. But I'm going to try and play the clip. It's about to download, people. So basically, if you don't get this Charlie comment, this is the context. Play them two together in a pivot. What about Savio?
Savio would be a good option. I'd probably say Savinho as well.
That is Savio.
Oh, that is Savio. I thought you were talking about a completely different player. I'm not gonna lie.
Who did you think I was talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
So that was the context to that.
Yeah.
Oh my days! Hold on,
I knew as soon as you posted it as well. I'm like, I'm gonna get rinsed for this, like big time.
bro. I did. I got 400 views on YouTube. I was not expecting that. What the fuck? Jay-Z's literally cried to his mum when Pep didn't pick him. Jay-Z's is in tatters. Yeah, but what do they do in training though, Mike? Is a training regime that gets them injured all the time? Probably, but it's also the amount of minutes they probably play. Like it's probably a bit of both. Because I know, like the reason why Chelsea had so many injuries last season was because of Pochettino's training regime. Like I think with Arteta, it's just the amount of minutes they play week in week out, game in game out all the time. Imagine Simeone at Arsenal, Zinchenko would be crying in his first training session. I would be. Every time I think of Zinchenko, I just think of that League Gunner clip.
Yeah,
And everyone knows what clip I'm talking about. Can they
yeah.
even beat PSV? What do you think you'll get past PSV?
If we do, we'll make it very tough for ourselves.
So if you do win, you'll think you'll edge it. Like
Yeah,
fair.
like we did
And
against Porto.
apparently your record against PSV isn't that good, but at the same time, like you don't play PSV often. I know you played them recently, like in the Champions League and Europa League, but
Yeah,
eh, it's,
I can't remember the last time we played them before that.
no, I can't either. Before the Van Nistelrooy, when Van Nistelrooy was manager, I don't remember because that was when they had Gakpo. Gakpo played well in when you played them away. I reckon. I think from what I saw in that game, we should have got Simeone when Arsene Wenger left. Was that the manager that like? I think you guys were linked to Ancelotti at one point, but what was that? Was that the manager that should have taken over Arsene Wenger then? Because I feel like that would have been perfect, just because of his big stay at Atletico, and Wenger had a big stay at Arsenal. He would have been the best for stability.
I think it would have been a brilliant move from the Arsenal board to get Diego Simeone as Wenger's replacement instead of Emery.
Mm.
I feel like fair enough, you were going in a different direction, and those who were on the Arsenal board at the time and are still there weren't familiar with hiring a new manager because they spent so many years giving out contract extension after contract extension to Wenger.
Mm-hmm.
But I can definitely say that if Arsenal were to have gone and transitioned from Arsene Wenger after a 22-year managerial period to then go from that to Diego Simeone would have been fantastic because it would have
Mm-hmm.
been a manager who has quite a big reputation, knows what it means to win big trophies, and can help the club progress, bring in those players because it's quite obvious that managers will have a certain pull.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a manager's managing a specific club, they'll certain players will go there simply because that manager has taken over. And I
Yeah.
feel like if we'd have had Simeone, we would have had a lot of players wanting to come to play for Arsenal because of how Simeone is as a coach.
I think it's perfect as well, only because like to be fair to Simeone, it's very hard like to be in a position where you're trying to overtake Barcelona and Real Madrid, and you're not
Mm,
exactly backed with an open checkbook. And Arsenal don't back their managers with an open checkbook. So let's say you're coming up against, at the time, it would have been either City or Chelsea, I guess, or City and Liverpool coming up. And to be our Arsenal manager as Simeone, it actually would have been like being at Atletico Madrid of England at that time, not in terms of club stature, but in terms of positionally wise and where the club is
yeah,
at that current moment in time. And I think that would have been a perfect move just in terms of the position that he was in. He would have already been used to that kind of situation. I think I would love to see Simeone in the Premier League because we ain't got a character like Mourinho anymore. And he's kind of the closest to that.
to be
Um,
perfectly honest with you as well, I feel like it's a lot of if buts and maybes when it comes to the whole Simeone situation because I don't think, especially in this moment in time, if we were to get rid of Arteta, I don't think Simeone would come to the Emirates.
yeah,
But for me, in terms going back on the if buts and maybes thing, I feel like if we'd have got Simeone as manager instead of Emery that summer, we may have even won the Europa League. I feel like we could have done that. I feel like we
yeah,
would have got to the final in Baku and gone there with the intent to win.
yeah, yeah. To be honest, I think if you had Simeone maybe for the Europa League, you would have had a way better chance of winning. You wouldn't have got battered. Put it that way. Like I think
No.
Unai Emery's a good manager. I just think Unai Emery maybe is better at the underdog type of team. Maybe I think he's better at trying to overachieve rather than when there's actually expectation on him. whether he can keep up with that, I'm not too sure. I would still like to see him at a club like similar caliber to Arsenal, just because PSG is a weird one, and because he was at PSG before, it didn't exactly work like terrifically there. And at Arsenal, it was difficult. So whoever's going to take over after Wenger was going to be difficult anyway. So like, despite what Slot's doing right now, it's still difficult to take over after what Jurgen Klopp's doing. So it's also that. Shout out to Dan as well, even in Mikesborough and young Alfie boy. Funny enough, I'm younger than Alfie. Facts is, I tell everyone, Alfie, the Premier League isn't the best league in the world. It just has the best marketing. I think, especially as of recently, definitely, I think La Liga has probably taken over as best league for the past few years, to be honest. Like, in terms of just technical players, because I actually do like Serie A a lot, but in terms of quality, it's probably not the best, because I think it also, because people hold Serie A to a higher standard because it was in the golden era in like 90s and 2000s and stuff as well. But I've always liked Serie A.
I think nowadays, when you look at the Premier League, I don't think there's too many players that we're going to be sat here in 10 years' time and looking at those players the same way we look at the quote unquote Barclays men of the Premier League era. I don't think that there'll be many players from this period that we look at in 10 years' time, the same way that we did with older players like Pedersen. My mind's gone completely blank. Cameron Jerome, players like this.
Yeah.
Quote unquote Barclays men.
Do you know what it is though? It's because we're born in England and we're just so invested into other teams. Like, we're back then, but also because we're nostalgia merchants as well. Like, you never. I think Italian people, and Spanish people might be like that with players in their league, but it's just because we're obviously the marketing Barclays. So we grew up in a Barclays era. So we look back at the Barclays era and be like, I miss when Norwich were, doing Lesby Avenue, and I miss when Sunderland were, in a rut and they just got out, and they think of like the Bradley Lowry days and just the what's his name? Is it G Dog 1? G Dog 1 days?
Yeah.
But you know that guy scored against City at the end?
Yeah.
Martin Tyler had an orgasm. Yeah. Sessegnon said G Dog 1! And so shit like that. And Darren Bent. And
I also think of the
Beach Ball.
The final day of the 04-05 season when West Brom got the business done and did what they needed to do in their relegation fight, and they're sat there on the touchline waiting to hear about results elsewhere. And then it comes through that they stayed up.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 teams competing for the relegation. Last place of relegation. That was mental, Like, we're never going to see that again. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I get what people are saying when they talk about this is not only league that does the whole battle for relegation and battle for top 4, because we're not only league that does that. Because I'm used to it, I do kind of find it kind of fun when I'm not involved. So that's just me, but also no other league does that. And that kind of says all about the mentality, really. Give Gabriel or Declan Rice the captaincy. Fair. I think that I don't know about Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice can be a good captain. I think by now he should be a good captain. But I also think him at Arsenal right now, he doesn't like expressing himself as the big fish because he's in the big pond. When he was at West Ham, he was a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Like, Gabriel is shows himself as a captain. I don't think Declan Rice plays like a captain at Arsenal. The same way he did it at West Ham. I do think if my whole thing, what was going to make or break Declan Rice as a leader for me is he going to take the same mentality and the same attributes from West Ham into Arsenal? I don't think he's done that. I don't think he's been helped, but I don't think he's done that for me. So I don't think he should, from the outside point of view, I don't think he should be captain of Arsenal. I think it should be Gabriel. But at the same time, maybe Declan Rice can still be a leader one day. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Crystal Palace have won 1 trophy in their whole existence of 100 years. I'm just going to check again. English second-year champion and Surrey Senior Cup. Yeah, those don't count.
No.
Those don't count. So, by the way, let's read it again. Let's read it again. This should be fun. FA Cup runner-up in 1890 and 1516.
Both of those games against the same team.
Oh, yeah. They were both against United. By the way, the only time it says champion and winner is in the Youth Cup or second and third tier. So, in that case, that means Millwall has trophies as well. That means we can count our playoff final trophies, which we don't do around here. A London Challenge Cup. Is this what we're counting?
What?
Like, my nan was minus 20 years old. Like, that does not count. Sorry, Senior Cup. No one's counting that. And Full Members Cup. I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that. This is more embarrassing from what we work Arsenal and Tottenham for, and what we work my club for. So,
put it this way: a club that no longer exists in Wimbledon FC has got more trophies than Crystal Palace. Yeah. Trophies of importance, that is.
It's perfect. I've got a trophy right next to me. I'm bigger than Crystal Palace. By the way, this is a penalty prize, Foundation Sports. I won a penalty shootout. Playing Foundation football. This is like 2019. But first, I don't know why I've actually got that next to me. But I've got my room's a fucking mess, so I've got shit like that next to me. But I've won more than Crystal Palace. Me playing Foundation football in Ilford is way more valuable trophies than anything Crystal Palace has ever won. And when I mean ever won, we're talking second tier trophies and third tier trophies. That's a Leighton Orient, you know. Yeah, Leighton Orient, bigger than Palace. We're going to smash Gooders tomorrow. 3-1 boys, bro. We're going to be on fire after fucking Danny Dyer tonight. Hey, Danny Dyer, do your job. Do your job. We need Bowen on form.
Do your job or don't do it then.
Hey, you best be given, like, you know, your best work, Danny Dyer, bro. I wasn't even going to say what I'm about to say. Thoughts on the Palace fan with the drum? I hope he has a good life. I don't know what else we might say. Same with I went to the FA Youth Cup final against Arsenal, yeah. And obviously there's no atmosphere, but you guys still brought your ultras. And so instead of the chance, it was just some cunt banging a drum all fucking game. And I'm just like, all right, man, just drop the gimmick, man. It's 5-1.
We get it now.
Like, we get it, bro. Fulham are much bigger than Palace. They've won one trophy in 100 years. Fulham were one of the first clubs in England, I'm pretty sure, as well. Big Dick Decker should be Arsenal's captain. He knows how to lead the team to glory. Have Palace finished above the top 10? I don't think so. Probably so far as well. Even Charlie doesn't try and rattle Alfie and Melanie. He tries to rattle me as well by putting stuff like this. Yeah, we have Wanyeri for that. Another World Cup, another world-class prospect. This J1 Johnson, exactly what his name says. What help fucking no. Jesus Christ, Charlie. Alfie, give up Saka's career or the Premiership trophy this year?
Premiership trophy. Because I've already said that the season's done.
Oh, yeah, fair enough, yeah. Because he said this year. But we've gone through this debate before about would you sell Saka to win a Premier League? The fact that you had to think about that one before was funny. Because let's be real, there's a million Sakas in the world. There ain't a million Premier Leagues.
True.
Alfie, I think you need to start spending more money in Arsenal club shop.
And why is that? Why is that, Charlotte?
That was when he was Arteta. Charlie is always adamant on the fact because obviously you started being Arteta after Newcastle, so Charlie won't let you forget that. Alfie, thoughts on Arsenal fans calling Calafiori a wild horse with a mane of hair running free?
Right, how you get?
I was going to say the same thing. You know. Egal is still saying Saliba can get into the Real Madrid squad next year. Saliba to Real Madrid. All this combined 11 with Real Madrid only for Saliba to be at Real Madrid. And then Egal's the kind of person to be like, you know what? That kid of yours better than Saliba. He stayed at Arsenal. He's the kind of person to say that. He's the kind of, he hasn't said it, but he's the kind of person to say it. Inside Goodness is an Arsenal podcast on TalkSport with Darren Ben. Okay, fair enough.
Why I don't watch it because it's fucking Darren Ben.
He's an Arsenal fan, to be fair.
Why would I sit there and listen to a player who has not played for our club, as far as I know, talk about our club? To be perfectly honest, why would I listen to that?
Two-Face an Arsenal fan.
Besides the point, there's a difference between being a fan of the club and actually playing for the club.
Joe's funny.
He played for Charlton. He played for Spurs. He played for
Ipswich,
Sunderland. He played for Sunderland, Ipswich. Yeah, never set foot at the Emirates or Highbury.
Nearly moved to West Ham. Funny enough. Yeah. Dill broke down.
Derby as well.
Yeah, he played for Derby. Yeah, forgot about that. Played for Villa as well. The Paul Lambert. He hates Paul Lambert. Yeah, so played for a lot of teams. The host is some woman, I don't know what her name is. Fairs. I'm unsubscribed because Alfie doesn't like the dog. Just joking, Mike says subscribe. Shout out to George, bro. Of course, the Gooners are edging it. Calling yourself a Gooner in 2025 is hilarious. Bruv. Ancelotti was after when Emery got sacked. Oh shit, yeah, it's true, you know. An Arsenal fan was telling me about Mikel Merino's jawline. This is your fan base, you know. This is like you probably regret going on Twitter.
I don't associate with these pricks. I'm not associated with these zesty bastards.
I like my cheese drippy, bro. It's good to see you back. Why do Arsenal fans like Nicola Jova's mural? I don't see what's wrong with it. They're appreciating staff member.
Well, in that case, let's put a mural of the fucking dinner lady up there then.
He's probably a massive hit with the fans. Nicolas Jova, get Mourinho back to Chelsea. Mike, why does James Ward-Prowse have so much PR around him? Because he's English and people want to fuck him. Usually when people have a lot of PR around them.
Tax.
Yeah, usually when people have a... I don't... Like, listen. I don't mind James Ward-Prowse as a person. I think he seems like a nice guy. But a lot of people seem like nice guys. Souček's a nice guy. Sufar's a nice guy. I actually stuck up for Ward-Prowse quite a lot. But at the same time, you are not the level. I do think he should actually start tomorrow, but he's not the level. I think every midfielder that we have needs to be sold. I'm not joking. Every midfielder. If you want to play Graham Potter football, you got to be technical, you got to be physical, you got to have power. Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, Souček, Paquetá, Soler. I'll go faster. And I might put Kudus in that list as well. Rodriguez. None of you might have that. You can all, for as far as I care, you can all leave. I don't really care. People are going to be like, "Oh, Max, you're mad. You're West Ham. You should love to have players like Paquetá and Kudus." If you watch West Ham, which most people don't, you'd understand why I'm complaining. I think you guys know me by now on this channel that anyone can get it. Pause as well. Yeah, pause as well on that. Not literally. I'm not dicking them, but like literally. Any footballer can get criticism on this channel. Any footballer. I've literally criticised Mikel Antonio on this channel. He's my favourite West Ham player ever. Before his accident, he was on bad form. I was criticising him. Mikel Antonio is my favourite West Ham player of all time, and I was really criticising him heavily. I've criticised Mark Noble before off camera. The only time I've ever actually done a YouTube channel where Mark Noble was a West Ham player was in his last season. That's when I started YouTube. So you didn't really get to see that because Noble was barely playing, but doesn't mean I hate Mark Noble, but I was criticising him as well. I've criticised Bowen before. Bowen's one of my favourite players. I've criticised Rice before when Rice was at West Ham. And Rice barely put a foot wrong at West Ham. I've seen more West Ham fans talk about him coming back on loan than you guys signing Ferguson. Yeah, the club doesn't help with that. And a lot of these fans get, unfortunately, super taken up by the social media. So our club was posting a lot for some reason. I've never seen a club post more about a player returning from loan from them when we posted about James Ward-Prowse. I don't know why they hyped it up so much. Like, it's not like the Saviour's coming back. This guy was 5th choice midfielder at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are up there. They didn't play him for a reason because he was shit. He got that red card against Chelsea. Tim Sherwood said Evan Ferguson is the next Alan Shearer. Says all you need to know. Tim Sherwood was commentating on the game once. I think it was Preston QPR. And a QPR player got fouled in the box and they got a free kick. He thought QPR got a penalty, but it was in the wrong goal. It was on the wrong side. And he was confused on why the other team got a free kick. Tim Sherwood, it's the wrong fucking goal, you retard. Like, this is the kind of takes that he comes out with. I got a super hot take, boys. Here we go. Charlie loves a hot take. If anyone loves a hot take, it's Charlie. Big up to Barrio. Hope you're doing well, bro. Why are we talking about Palace? Because someone asked me what I think about D Palace saying that Crystal Palace are are bigger than West Ham, or West Ham are nobodies. So I was just kind of taking a piss out of Palace, as I always do. Only time Palace are in the top 10 is when they announce the Premier League table. All jokes aside, boys, I think we can get something out of tomorrow's game against the Gooners, at least a point. Remember this message after the game, boys. Dan, I fucking hope you're right. I hope you're right, bro. And listen, I wouldn't take a draw because, listen, I don't give a fuck about draws. Everyone knows me by now. Everyone knows me. I don't care about draws against anyone. I don't care if it's prime Barcelona. I don't celebrate draws. It would be funny. It'll be quite funny. I'll have a little bit of fun with it, but I want to be shameless. So I want to win. Give me a win. I'll be unbearable for the whole day. You'll see positive mics. People want positive mics. You'll see that. And then the rest of the season, I'll be depressed again. But then, just give me the Arsenal game. Give me the Arsenal or Tottenham or Man United. Give me one, at least one, please. Man United away. We never won at Man United away in my lifetime, apart from when I was 3 years old and Tevez was there. Tottenham at home, I need revenge. Arsenal tomorrow, I need revenge. I need if Manfred Patterson are going to play, I need him to score again. I need Declan Rice to score an own goal, just for buns. Because we're not going to score, so Declan Rice, you might as well score for us. Henry is the most overrated player in Premier League history, and R9 is the most overrated player in footballing history. I didn't watch R9, didn't watch Henry, so no comment, bruv. You can't change my mind. Well, I'm not going to, because I didn't fucking watch them, Charlie, bruv.
I could probably change your mind about the Henry one.
I don't think you're going to change his mind, bro. Charlie, you got to understand as well. Charlie will open up by saying that because you're here as well. You should have seen the way he was triggering Melon last week. You associate with those zesty lads because you're an Arsenal fan as well.
No, I fucking don't, Barrio, and you know it.
I said Arteta in Lopetegui was misunderstood. Antonio Prep in 2025. This guy, bruv. Lewis getting D on Capital Conflict would be hilarious. I dare him. I dare him to invite D on Capital Conflict. I dare Lewis to do that. I dare him. What's the biggest London club besides Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, and West Ham? Is it Fulham? Are Fulham fifth? Who's won the most trophies? Them four. Because Millwall won fuck all.
I'd probably say Fulham, but then again, I don't remember Fulham winning much, to be perfectly honest with you. The last big thing I'm pretty sure we've seen Fulham do is get to the Europa League final in 2010.
Yeah, Fulham haven't won fuck all. Fulham have never won a major trophy, it says on here. QPR won the League Cup in 1966-67. So technically, they're bigger than Fulham. Just off trophy. Yeah, just off that basis.
Trophies alone, yeah.
Yeah, if we're going off trophies, Brentford. Let me see Brentford's trophies. They won the London War Cup. Okay, that doesn't count.
What the fuck is that when it's at home?
I don't know.
What's the London War Cup?
I don't know. I was going to make a really bad joke.
Go on.
Who? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not. No.
Why not?
I was going to say ask Hitler, innit? Like, Brentford, Fulham, QPR, Charlton. Have Charlton won? That's your local club. Charlton trophies.
I don't think they've won anything big. Maybe...
Charlton have won the FA Cup, apparently.
Oh, when?
They won it in 46-47.
Oh, good. So, not even my granddad was alive.
My nan was like 10.
Fucking hell, how old's your nan? Jesus.
Oh, she's dead now, but she's like...
Oh, fair enough.
She's like... How old would she have been? Like, if she was born, like 87, I think? I don't fucking know. She would have been 87. But it looks like Charlton would have been, like, the fifth biggest.
Oh, shit, really? Because they won the FA
Cup. Yeah, because QPR won the League Cup, Fulham won fuck all, Brentford won fuck all. Millwall, let's look at Millwall. Because do you know what is the problem with small clubs like Palace and Millwall, yeah? They'll just list the championship. They've won the several trophies. Listen, this is what they do. AI overview is done here. They've won several trophies, and then they list the trophies. League championships, which come on, let's be serious. Cup finals, let's be serious.
They try to get in on the convo, but their opinion's not valid because at the end of the day, no one really looks at second division trophies, do they?
And no one looks at fucking second. Do you know what's very funny? Yeah, every time I've looked up Palace and Millwall, yeah, they say, "Oh, they've won cup finals," and then when you look at the cup finals, it says runners up. You are a small club, small.
Minuscule.
Just the biggest thing that when you talk about Millwall, the biggest thing that they're known for is beefing us. So that's all you need to know. By the way, is Millwall the Leeds of London? In what sense, Barrier? Is it most hated? Because that's like that's Tottenham. In terms of like Millwall, 4 teams hate them. To be fair, like West Ham, Chelsea, Palace, and Charlton. So then maybe they're more hated than Tottenham then, because only 3 teams hate Tottenham in London. That's Arsenal, Chelsea, and West Ham. Yeah, so maybe they are. Maybe they are. I don't know, Alfred. I've heard you say some zesty stuff.
Not purposefully, mate.
Shout out Destiny, your doggy. Alfred Omri has the same amount of final goals as Jared Bowen.
Wait, what final did Henry score? What final is this?
It wasn't for Arsenal, clearly. Only difference is when Bowen's team needed him to step up in the European final, Bowen took his chance.
Oh,
hey, listen, I've heard enough Bowen better than Henry. That's what I'm hearing. Fair enough. Didn't even say rest in peace. Let's be fair, I laughed. In terms of most hated, because I swear most of West London hate them. Well, they're not. Well, no, it's not even West London. It's just Chelsea and West London that hate them. It's just South, because they're in South London team. The whole of South hate them. Palace and Charlton both hate them, and West Ham hate them because they used to be East. They used to be East London. I'm pretty sure. Which I find weird, to be fair. It's not West Ham. I don't think Brentford, Fulham, and QPR hate them like that. Maybe QPR because they've been in the Championship like year in, year out, so they might hate them a bit more. But it's mainly West Ham, Palace, Charlton, and Chelsea that hate Millwall, from what I know of. In terms of in London, because Birmingham hate Millwall, and Leeds hate Millwall as well. I think Cardiff do as well. Wait, hang on. He has less goals than Bowen in cup finals. Oh, so he hasn't scored one. Some people's GOAT, better than Ronaldo, apparently. Bald switch match. Hey, Birmingham hate Millwall. What the fuck happened? I think they just had like a fight. I think they just started fighting because you got Barrio. Birmingham are like one of the most notorious in terms of like when it comes to fan bases fighting. They're up there. They've got like.
I was actually quite baffled when you said that Birmingham hate Millwall. I was like, why the fuck? What reason have they got to hate Millwall?
They're like, I don't know what. I think they call themselves the Zulus. Like they're ultras. They're not ultras. They're hooligans.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing something about that. Funnily enough, in Green Street.
Yeah, just funny. I remember, obviously, JK, the rapper. He even says that he used to get into fights with West Ham fans at Upton Park. So there you go. I mean, like people from Birmingham are on stuff, man. Like, so I can't tell the story. But I'll tell. I've got a story about Millwall versus Birmingham, but I'm not allowed to tell it right now. I will tell it one day. But that is a story for another day.
Have you ever been to? You haven't been to a West Ham Millwall game, have you?
Upton Park, I have.
Oh, and how was that for you? Like,
so
I want to know how did it feel for you going to like a massive rival game?
I was gassed, but that was my first season as a season ticket holder. I went to games in the 10-11 season when we got relegated. So we lost to Chelsea 3-1, lost to Bolton 3-1. I think we drew to Blackburn 0-0. I think those were the 3 games I went to in the 10-11 season. And my first season as a season ticket holder.
Did you ever go to the Liverpool game where Scott Parker turned up?
No, I didn't go to that game. I didn't go to that game. But in 11-12 season was the first season I had as a season ticket holder because my dad was like, okay, so the Championship is cheaper. Let's go. We'll go every home game. And I was like, all right. Obviously, I'm a kid. I just want to go to the stadium.
Of course.
and West Ham Millwall was coming up, and it was the early kickoff. So we went to get McDonald's breakfast. That's the first time I found out about McDonald's breakfast. And how old was I? I would have been, so 11-12 season, I would have been 8 years old at that time when we went West Ham Millwall. And obviously not, when it's West Ham Millwall, they don't allow the full crowd, the full away end there.
No.
So we were sitting above the away fans, which is very, very mad. Very, very mad. Well, I think, I can't remember whether they were sitting above the away fans or they put the away fans in the same stand but on the other side of the stand, so it was cut off in half. Basically, what happened was a Millwall fan threw a blue flare where we were sitting, so like right next to us, sort of thing. So a blue flare was there, but I didn't think anything of it. Nothing happened. But that was the game. We beat them with 10 men, beat them 2-1. Harry Kane was playing for Millwall on loan. So was Ryan Mason. They both came on as substitutions, and they were both on loan from Tottenham at Millwall.
Something's never changed because they've got fucking Jack Tanganga now.
Yeah. I can't remember. The only other Millwall player I remember is Danny Shitu. So I think Danny Shitu was playing there. His name was Shit. That's why I remember him.
I'm trying to remember the last North London derby I went to.
But that was fine to get to because the police dealt with it.
Yeah, they cordoned you off, didn't they?
Yeah, but my dad was like, it's going to be dangerous and some shit like that. But I was just gassed to go because it was West Ham Millwall. My dad was telling me all about West Ham Millwall. So that was fun for me. You ever been Tottenham away?
I went once.
What game was that?
That was the 2-2.
When was this?
One where Kane's 15-16.
Oh, that game. Yes.
And then before that, I remember going to the game at the back end of the 13-14 season where Rosicky scored in the first 5 minutes. But I think the last North London derby I've been to was 18-19.
So what happened there?
The 4-2.
Was that the most violent?
It kicked off a little bit, but that was the one that I last went to, the one where Aubameyang got 2, Lacazette scored with his weaker foot, and Torreira got the 4th.
That's one of the better North London derby is always good to watch. But
it's one of the better ones in recent times, I'd say.
Can I be honest? I think it's a very good derby, yeah, but it's just recently where it's been kind of shit. I think the last couple of times at Tottenham Hotspur, it's because Tottenham don't even turn up for it anymore.
I can agree with that in terms of the fact that you see, if you look back in like past seasons, there was a lot better North London derbies to watch. I mean, you think of the 4-4, the 5-2 in the 11-12 season, then the 5-3 the season after, where Adebayor got sent off. There was certainly a lot better North London derby games in past seasons than there have been now. But it's still a good game to watch, especially for the neutrals. You kind of know that something will kick off eventually. It's just the heat of it. I mean, you can't expect that from massive derbies, especially local ones. But the 18-19 North London derby I went to was the last one I remember going to, and that was an incredible game. And I definitely need to go to another one, 100%. There's nothing like a North London derby for me. There's a different feeling in the air when you know you're playing against Spurs.
Derby days are always mad. What's the most violent game both of you have been to? Bro, answer this question. I'm just going to go and get some water. I'll be like a minute or two. So just answer this question and talk to the chat.
Okay, no problem, man. What's the most violent game I've been to? I'm trying to think, because was it? I don't think that there's been many Arsenal games that I've been to where something's kicked off. I mean, obviously, you're going to expect it from like a North London derby or something like that. But in terms of other games, I've never really seen it like fully kick off. So I think it's quite hard for me to answer that question because I've never really seen many games kick off.
Because I don't even remember any violent games I've been to. I can't lie. I think
Neither can I.
Oh, actually, no. I can. There's a couple. I went to the West Ham Chelsea. Like, we're talking about this with Lewis a couple of weeks ago when he was on the channel. I went to the West Ham Chelsea game, 16-17 season where fans were fighting. I think it was the first West Ham Chelsea game at home. Obviously, West Ham and Chelsea usually goes off. At Upton Park, it used to go off a lot. We actually had to close down some of the local businesses when Chelsea came to town because it used to get violent on Green Street and stuff like near Upton Park. West Ham Chelsea used to go off. Yeah, because people forget West Ham Chelsea's a mad game. Like people in his chat, you guys know CB, the Chelsea content creator. He even said himself he's from East London. He said he's been in fights with West Ham fans before. Like West Ham Chelsea serious. Like Lewis will tell you that as well. West Ham Chelsea is a serious game. Always because as a kid, first London derby I went to was West Ham Chelsea. That's why I take the Chelsea game seriously all the time. I don't like Chelsea. West Ham Chelsea 16-17 was violent. I wasn't anywhere near the violence though. West Ham, funny enough, West Ham Anderlecht, a couple years ago, the season we won the Conference League, 22-23 season, we faced them in a group stage. I wasn't near the violence, but in the away end, obviously the way the home fans were sitting next to the away fans, they were throwing chairs. So Anderlecht fans picked up chairs, started throwing them at West Ham fans, and started throwing flares at them. Just because West Ham fans were giving them banter and stuff, and they banned both of our fan bases, even though it's their fault. Because there's already a stigma about West Ham fans being violent, even though that's not been a thing for years. They like to put down us. I'm not even just saying that to be biased or anything, because I'm never really biased towards my club. But at the same time, that was a bit of a stigma. That was quite a violent game. And the only violence I was near, this wasn't violence, but hold on, give me a sec. Throw his fucking dry from talking. When I went back to West Ham games in the 21-22 season when fans came back, and one of the first home games coming back was West Ham Crystal Palace. Funny enough, and we drew 2-2. Conor Gallagher scored a brace. I think it was Antonio scored a brace for us as well, and there was a Palace fan in the home end. Now the problem with that, you can be an away fan in the home end and get away with it if you don't celebrate. But this guy celebrated, and he was in front of me. And I was like, are you serious? This guy's a Palace fan. There's a guy behind me, grabbed his daughter's drink and chucked it at him. He chucked his daughter's drink on him. And the Palace fan looked like he wanted to fight him, but realised I'm around bare West Ham fans. So if I start a scrap, I'm getting beat the fuck up. And the guy got taken away. But the guy who got his drink chucked on got taken away. And the guy behind me was like to his daughter, "Oh, sorry, darling, was that your drink? I'll get you another one. Sorry about that." Like that's not even violent. But I've not been to many violent games. And like, is all the violent games I would have been to, would have been when I was young at Upton Park, because it doesn't really happen at the London Stadium anymore. Luckily enough, which is a good thing. Tottenham fans tried to start some shit last year. Some fat kid with glasses trying to give me shit. I was with my mum and stuff. I'm just looking like you literally look like Homer Simpson, bro. Like I can't lie. If you fought me, I feel like you're just fighting your own legs to stand up. Not gonna lie. So it's kind of a thing of like, when fat people try and fight you, especially when they've got no like sort of fighting ability, you kind of just gotta laugh, and their self-esteem is beating them up instead of you beating them up. After you spend more money in the Arsenal club shop, they can use that money to buy world-class players.
Well, I mean, they keep releasing merch, so
NPC merch.
Exactly. It's not like there's a lack of funds going into the Arsenal bank account, is there?
No. If you're going West Ham versus Millwall and your breakfast isn't a line and a Stella, then you've done it wrong. I didn't know what cocaine was at 8 years old, bro.
I think going back to the violent games situation, I remember going to one game, but it wasn't necessarily violent, but it was definitely an awkward situation for me. It was our first game in the Europa League, the first season we were in it, against Cologne.
Yeah.
where all the Cologne fans invaded the home ends
Yeah.
and the game kicked off later than expected. I was actually sat next to a couple of Cologne fans, and to give them their credit, they were very, very respectful. Fair enough, they celebrated when they scored,
Yeah.
which is understandable, but they were very respectful. They understood where they were sat. They knew that they were sat next to Arsenal fans, and they were quite chill. But it was quite an awkward situation. You don't usually turn up at a game, especially at your home stadium, and expect to be sat next to an away fan in the home end. It's not something you expect.
No.
So it was quite awkward for me, and it was quite a difficult thing for me to get my head round. But I managed to sort of come to an understanding as to why they were there. There was obviously a lot of them there, and which was understandable at the time. I think it was their first game in God knows how many years since they played in Europe. They wanted to make a big deal out of it. But from my personal experience, they were very, very respectful, understood where they were sat, and they enjoyed the game.
Yeah. That reminds me, actually, Frankfurt, their fans were kind of violent, but again, as I said many times, I'm not near the violence. I don't want it. First of all, I ain't get involved. I don't know what you're on. You're foreign.
Well,
so I don't know. I don't know what vibe you're on.
There won't be any violence at the charity match, luckily, so we should be fine.
Yeah, we should be, bro.
Yeah, guys, if you didn't know already, we're both going to the Simon charity match. You might even see a little link up there.
Melon's there as well.
Yeah, make sure you check your feed.
Yeah, I might do a vlog. That's what I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do one as well. But
yeah,
we're obviously traveling separate, but we'll link up while we're there.
Yeah, we're probably not sitting near each other, but we'll link up. Because I've been to Sidemen charity matches before.
Same.
It's so like the crowd, like it's the most peaceful football crowd ever because it's just bare. First of all, it's bare just like fanboys and fangirls, but it's also like when I went to the one in the London Stadium last year, I saw every football shirt possible. I saw a Portuguese Ronaldo shirt. I saw even Al Nassr Ronaldo shirt. I saw bare Messi shirts. I saw Ronaldinho shirts.
I think we know why that was.
What? Because speed.
Yeah, for speed. Yeah.
But I think people are going to wear Ronaldo shirts anyway because there was Messi shirts there as well. There was Ronaldinho shirts. There was Kaká shirts. There was bare there was not even many English club fans. There was more international shirts. I don't know why international fans, but still.
I think I've been to every single Simon charity match bar the last one. The last one was the only one I wasn't able to get tickets for at the London Stadium.
The only one I didn't go to is because I didn't choose to go to. Is because it was the first one that they came back with. So the first speed one.
I went to the one at St Mary's back in 2016. Jesus, that feels like ages ago.
Yeah.
And obviously the three at the Valley, because obviously the Valley's on my doorstep, so it's quite easy to get to. Yeah. And now I'm going to be going to Wembley, so it's going to be great.
I went to Southampton one as well. I went to St Mary's one. No, my dad drove me, of course. I wasn't going on my own at 13. I went to the first two at the Valley. I didn't go to obviously the last one. I went to London Stadium one.
Funnily enough, I chose to watch the Simon charity match in 2017 over Arsenal's final home game of the season against Everton because that was the last game of the season that same day.
Mad. Do you know what's mad? When we go to the charity match, none of our teams are playing on that day. Arsenal, Chelsea, or West Ham.
Brilliant. I think it's international break. That's why.
No, it's on that. No, it's we play on the Monday. On the 8th.
Oh, what, England?
No. It's Premier League, bro. Premier League.
Who do we play?
Man United, I think. Man United.
What day is that?
9th. 9th. You play on the 9th.
So I can come home, chuck out a cheeky little match preview after the charity match, and
you have 2 videos.
Yeah,
you have 2 videos for the same day. I want to see what would happen when Millwall comes to the way there. American to Cali. Obviously, Barrio is Colombian. After you're being peace coach is the reason you're competing. Fuck's sake, man. South American atmosphere when Millwall ain't healthy. Bruv, I can't lie. I think Millwall fans will just be there for... I don't know. I don't want to do the whole stereotype, Barrio, because you're Colombian, but if you got a good line of cocaine, then Millwall fans will be there.
That is on my bucket list to go to a South American football game. That's been on my bucket list for years. I
I
want to
think
go to a South American football game. I don't care which one it is, whether it's in Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Colombia. I don't care. Just get me to a South American game. I want to be part of that energy.
I thought you were gonna say it's on your bucket list to do a line of coke because I was just talking
Oh
about coke.
no.
You never know. If Arteta puts you over the line, you might get on the line. Alfie, if you want to see Arsenal win major, I want to spend more money in the club show for a long period of time. In that time, Arteta can buy the world class players and win the major trophies.
So you're
Arteta,
saying my individual input will get Arsenal to win trophies? Okay, fair enough.
hey, you got to buy more. What's it? You got to buy more. No more red t-shirts. Alfie, do you think Calafiori is a fun player to watch?
He can certainly strike a ball. I'll give him that. He's got a good shot on him. But apart from that, I don't really see much else. To be honest with you, Charlotte, I'm not gonna lie.
I know why she's asking that because like Arsenal fans online, the zesty
Yeah,
ones were like, it's such a fun player to watch because they want to fuck him. And before you say you were too young for a line, I had my first line at 12.
fair enough, Charlie. Fair enough.
Charlie lives by his name, bro. Let's say that he's had a life. Alfred loves watching calamari. He loves watching this. Fucking hell, man.
That's not an image you want, is it?
Hey, you're thinking about Italian bulge.
No, I'm not. No.
He's thinking about it.
No.
Look at the stress on Alfie's face. He's thinking about Italian bulges, bro. I want Madrid. I would love to see Madrid in the Emirates. I'm assuming you mean Real.
Oh, another team to dance around our defence then, because every single time a Spanish or a German team's come to the Emirates, they've played keep ball and kept the ball away from us for 90 minutes, and we've not laid a finger on them.
Quick question for Alfie: do you think Arsenal chance in the shower like Rory talks football?
No, I do not.
Wait, Rory talks football is on this podcast with Darren. How the fuck has he done that? All this guy does, by the way, is just go on TikTok and just say the most outrageous take ever.
How has he frauded his way into this position?
All you got to do, Joe, I just clocked. If you want to be organic, you can have your own like integrity and have your own platform and still be successful, but you won't make it on some major platforms. Which I'm not looking to do, by the way. I don't really give a fuck. If I make it on some major platform, I make it on some major platform, but I'm still going to be myself, sort of thing. But you got like these men aren't organic. Like it's the truth. Darren Bennett's an Arsenal fan, Alfie.
What do you want me to say?
Why is there so many away fans in the home section for West Ham? To be fair, that's only in the upper sections because the tickets don't sell out anymore. People don't want to go to West Ham games. So it's either tourists or away fans try and get in. Put it this way, in the Carabao Cup game against Arsenal, there was a lot of Arsenal fans in where I was sitting. But a lot of them had to leave because they kept baiting themselves out as Arsenal fans. There's a guy, who came with his girlfriend and a bucket of KFC and sat next to where I was sitting for the West Ham Arsenal game in the Carabao Cup. He came in with a bucket of KFC. I've never seen that in my life. That Palace West Ham game, man, well, that was the same game Gallagher announced himself and started that amazing season for himself with Palace. Yeah, Vieira got the best out of Gallagher for that season. He's just allowed him to run in the box. Like, that was a weird season, because I actually thought Vieira looked quite good as a manager then, but then when Eze came back from injury, because Eze had that mad injury, he didn't know how to use Eze and kept trying to force it, and it kind of felt like without Gallagher, he didn't really have a game plan in the end. But that's when Elise was doing a madness as well. And that's when Mateta was shit.
Yeah.
I hate Chelsea with a passion, same Josiah, same breath. Did you buy the new merch then, Alfie?
No,
which one? You have bear, so which what even is the new merch now?
I think the last thing I bought was the red and green European tracksuit type deal. That's the last thing I got.
Josiah, I'm assuming you're asking. No, he's a West Ham fan.
Yeah.
No, he's a West Ham fan, bro. I've kicked off at a couple of Dagenham games. Bella's a pussy. I'm surprised they didn't kick off at Dagenham Southend, to be fair, when we went Dagenham Southend. But it's not really fierce, it's just a rivalry. Charlie, calm down. Don't worry, I'll get kicked off in the side room. Charlie, stop using profanity. Are you going to the game, Alfie?
I want the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
No.
Message catch me outside. Catch me outside. How about that and all that? I said, I get the Coke by asking good culture. They will. I can't get the Coke by asking good culture. That's got the plug, you know. Mate, Alfie, I'm not going to try and pronounce that.
Booker Ramanga. Booker Ramanga.
You proper English that off. You proper English that off. Booker Ramanga.
I made that sound way more chav than it needed to.
That's why I didn't go for it. 100% Alfie, because without the fans, there is no club. So yeah, you are literally the source of the Arsenal merchandise.
It's not like I'm the only Arsenal fan out there, is there? I'm sure there's someone else that's gullible enough to put money in the Cronky's pocket. It's not just me.
Imagine you bought the MP. Would you buy the NPC kit? Just get a hat kit.
No.
I can't believe they made it.
If I wanted to look like a Peaky Blinder, I'd do it properly.
Yeah, sure. To be fair, you could probably declare as one. Yeah, it's just as a West Ham fan. Just don't go with an Arsenal kit, because I went with a Chelsea kit, and one guy pushed my brother. Jesus Christ!
I've already got like some stuff that I'm probably gonna wear for the charity match. So.
No, I think you meant to Colombia, bruv.
Oh, what, to Colombia?
Yeah.
I'll probably get a Colombia shirt or something.
Yeah, depends where you're going, bruv. Depends where you're going.
Get one of the retro Colombia shirts.
I was trying to think of West Ham Colombian players, and the first one that came to mind was Carlos Sanchez.
Carlos Sanchez. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? That's a man I slander, and I haven't seen him play since he played for my club. I still slander him.
The only Colombian player I think of in terms of Arsenal is David Ospina. I'm not going to lie.
Ospina was a weird one, bro. Like, he was like... I remember he was just OP on FIFA for a bit.
We signed him the summer after the 2014 World Cup.
Yeah, it's one of them ones where you signed him after a tournament, didn't it? So it's like...
Yeah.
We saw Carlos Sanchez at Aston Villa and still signed him.
Yeah, because I swear he was in the team that went down.
Yep, he was in that Micah Richards Lescott team. If you don't spend any money, Arsenal will be able to buy both players. If more people bought the new Arsenal merch, then I think they would have a better chance signing world class players to win the league. Do you guys rate Stuntpeg? Stuntpeg has good amount of knowledge.
Yeah.
But to be fair, she's a good host and stuff. She was actually quite interesting on the overlap, to be fair.
She's more watchable in terms of what she says about football than someone like Rory.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Like I can't remember what video it was. I can't remember what video it was, but it was some embarrassing like overlap video. I remember being like, some Arsenal fan said something like Saka could overtake Salah or some shit. It was something like that. I don't remember where it was. Alfred is a proper top red. You should see his Insta stories. He's a shameless Arsenal fan when he's not on camera. Nah, Alfie's the exact same off camera. I don't even think I need to tell you guys that. Darren Brent is also a former player. He's a former player. He doesn't play for Arsenal though. Arsenal Mile.
Who's Mile?
Bruv, my name's not Mile. That's the first time I've been called that. Why I hate Chelsea is no, bruv. Alfie, would you ever collab with Rory Talk Football?
Probably not, no.
Alfie, would you take Darwin Núñez at Arsenal? Bav said he would. Of course, Bav said he'd fucking take Núñez.
Is that meant to be rage day then?
Bro, Bavs would take anyone at Arsenal. Bavs said Rashford should join. Yeah, I know. Bavs said Rashford should sign for Arsenal. So there you go.
It was probably the same person that thought Sterling was a good idea as well.
Mm. To be fair, you pronounced that well, albeit with a British accent. So hey, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Ty is still kicking around.
Yeah, but whenever Ty says something, it's funny, isn't it?
I like Ty.
You can't help but laugh.
Yeah, Ty is an exception because, like, at least he keeps the same energy, like every time. A lot of these top gooners don't keep the same energy. They're going to hide it. Ty is always out here. Yeah, at least Ty is out here. Ty is out here at least.
We mustn't forget it's remaining.
Yeah, at least with his like delusion, he's like the same.
Yeah.
So you can't even argue it. But Alfie, the more money you put into Arsenal, the more trophies. I don't think that's how it works, man. Because you got to spend the
No,
money
I don't
correctly.
think it's how it works.
Because otherwise, Man United would have won the league by now. The more the merrier. Alfie, the Crockies need as much money as possible so they can buy world class players. Hey, Charlotte, bro, you're really getting high with the world class players thing. But speaking of Colombia, Medellin says hello. Shout out to Medellin. Didn't Carlos Bacca play for West Ham? I know why you're asking this, Dave, because we was meant to have Carlos Bacca have a medical in 2016.
Oh shit!
Because in that 16-17 season, yeah, we were promised what's it? A big striker. So I mentioned this in my Karen Brady video. Our owners are the only owners that when they moved us to a new stadium, they did a whole fucking press run about West Ham buying a big striker. Those strikers on the list was Carlos Bacca, Jackson Martinez, and Alexander Lacazette. Those were like the strikers.
Instead you got Simeone Zaza and Sofiane Feghouli as a wide option.
Yeah, and Jonathan Kaleri as well up front. And they
were both who was the Turkish Dom that you got as well?
Gökhan Torre.
Yeah, that was it.
So they were saying that. I remember they were saying Carlos Bacca's going to do his medical. Still waiting. It's nearly 9 years later.
Still he missed the penalty against Pickford in the World Cup.
What, Bacca? Oh, yeah. He was him. Yeah, it was him that missed. I just fuck Bacca then. I don't give a fuck about Bacca, bruv. Arsenal got a youth goalkeeper named Alexi Rojas, and he's Colombian. I actually know him because of Football Manager. That's the only reason why I know him.
Of course,
he's actually very good. Of course, bro. Bro, listen. I'm an addict, bro. I'm an addict. I'm a crippling addict of Football Manager.
I've heard a lot about a lot of the youth players in terms of who Arsenal have got in terms of youth players at the moment. I mean, I've heard Josh bring up a few times Max Dowman. I've heard his name brought up quite a bit. You think of Maldini as well.
Yeah.
And obviously the goalkeepers, like Barry has just said, Alexi Rojas, Jack Porter, Tommy Setford. So there's obviously there's players there. So
I'm sure when you're struggling, Arteta will throw them in.
Probably.
Because that's what he does. That's his next move. It was the female Arsenal fan on AFTV who said that Saka is in a conversation with best wingers in the Premier League.
She's another one I can't stand.
What's her name again?
That's Charlene.
And this wasn't best wingers in the Premier League now. This was best of all time. They were talking best of all time right winger. Best of all time right wingers. Fuck off. He doesn't even make all time best Arsenal 11. So how is he going to make best of all time fucking Arsenal Premier League wingers? When
safe to say, Saka's got a lot to do to get into the best starting 11 in Arsenal's history, let alone the Premier League. Like he's got a lot of work to do.
Also, let's say he was in a conversation with Premier League. Ronaldo played on the right wing in the Premier League. Ronaldo played on the right wing. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. Bro, forget anyone else. Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo. Bruv, it's Ronaldo.
Yeah, but I don't think
overtaking Ronaldo.
I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo's got too big a Premier League legacy. Because if you think about it, if you think about Cristiano Ronaldo's career, his best time was spent in Madrid. Let's be real with it. In terms of his career, his best time was spent in Madrid.
In terms of his career, but his best time as a footballer, he was in one of the best front threes in history.
Yeah, Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo. Yeah.
So if Salah's there, Ronaldo's there. Because it's not about peak. It's not about peak of the player. It's about what you did in the league.
Bale's there as well.
Yeah, Bale's in the conversation, but he's not above Ronaldo. Because Ronaldo, it's not like Ronaldo's peak was in Madrid in terms of his numbers, but in terms of his time in the Premier League, it was still one of the best of all time. Like even that Beckham was in the Premier League. Like Salah, look what Salah like. If we're talking right wingers. Salah. If we're talking wingers in general, like I'm just putting names out there. I'm not saying Salah's the best of all time. I'm saying Salah's in the conversation. Hazard's in the conversation. Giggs, as you said. Bale, as you said. Saka's not in this conversation.
Not yet, anyway.
And to be honest, I don't think he's that type of player that's going to make it unless he does Salah numbers year in, year out. And I don't think He's not better than Salah. Salah does 20 goals a season. Salah has done, and he's still doing over 15 goals and assists now, playing with Nunez, Diaz, a crippled Jota, and fair enough, Cody Gakpo, who's playing well.
If you look at Salah set the record for most goals scored, most consecutive goals scored on the opening day of the Premier League season. The only time he hasn't scored on the opening day was last season against Chelsea.
And Saka's got focus on overtaking fucking Sadio Mane first.
Yeah.
Sadio Mane was consistent in this Premier League. It was only a year in lockdown, and people could argue his last year where he was falling off. But at the same time, Sadio Mane was very crucial to what Liverpool were doing now, because people can chat about Sadio Mane all they want. Look at the Liverpool's attackers now and tell me they did anything better than anything Sadio Mane did. He didn't. They haven't. Sadio Mane was one of the biggest reasons why Salah was succeeding at the time. And Mane's in that conversation, not for one of them. He won't, you're not going to put him in your best of all time front three, but he's in the conversation. Same way Bale's in the conversation. Bale could have had a better career for what he was, yeah. But Bale was still one of the best I've ever seen. In fact, Mahrez is in there. How did I forget? Riyad Mahrez is in that conversation as well. He has to be in that conversation. And to be honest, someone who should have made that conversation, but obviously we've discussed him before, and his last few years has been shit, is Raheem Sterling. He should have. He should have made that compensation, but he didn't. Because Sterling has a good legacy in the Premier League still overall in his whole career. But since you left Manchester City, you have not lived up to the expectation. It's simple as that. But there's a lot of great wingers out there. But Saka, that's why it's delusional to say Saka. Because even if we're looking at Arsenal, Pires is there, Lundberg's there.
Yeah.
They literally won an invincible. Yeah, Wiltord's there. Saka's got. People forget Arsenal are, this is why people, rival fans, are cool. I'm not in a position to do. I'm a West Ham fan, but, this is why Arsenal fans in themselves expect so much, because you have had teams like this. It's not like West Ham where, cool, we haven't had that many good players. So if Saka's coming through now, we're going to be praising Saka like it's mad. But you might have had world-class players before. Saka ain't world-class. And we're in this era of football. Saka ain't world-class. You got to do it season in, season out on the biggest stage of football. And to be honest with Saka, the only thing that's really holding him back properly is the manager and the players around him. If Saka was, let's say Saka was good enough to come through at Real Madrid, which he might have not have been, because Real Madrid's a different level. But let's say if hypothetically he was, and he was around a Vinicius, he was around a Benzema, let's say at the time, he would have been able to develop more as a player. But also, he would have been able to have, funny enough, not as much pressure in the sense of he might not even been a starter like that. He might have been the Ceballos of wingers, where he plays this part crucial in certain games, but has a better career. He's never going to be what Arsenal fans want him to be. Mahrez played in that Leicester City side and that Manchester City side. That's why he's in the conversation. Salah does it year in, year out on the right wing. Gareth Bale did what he did at Tottenham. Gareth Bale's one of the best footballers we've seen in the 2010s. That's why Saka isn't in the conversation. Hooks might be the most deluded Arsenal fan nowadays, I'll be real. Hooks, as I did the stream of Hooks earlier today. To be fair with Hooks, he knows what he's doing, bro. He's even said it himself. He knows what he's doing. He puts his chest out on the line. He's like, it's not over until it's over. And also with the clips thing, the type of clips he puts out, he's trying to get under people's skin. He's king of rattling. So, and to be fair to Hooks, at least he is not hide, as he said, he doesn't hide, and he still gives accountability. So to be fair, it's probably someone off AFTV that's probably the most deluded. It's probably Julian still.
Yeah.
Julian's way worse than Ty. I've got to buy the whole family West Ham kits to the start of next year. Makes me feel sick knowing I got. Oh wait, is this your immediate family, your kids? Because I know some of your family's Forest as well. Alfie, if you buy Arsenal Aries jacket, that'll help them sign Isak in the summer. Alfie, trust me, this is why the concrete said be excited. And she also asked, Alfie, have you been excited ever since Josh Kroenke said that?
Not really, no.
There you go. Man said, why you reminded me about that World Cup game, man. Yeah, it must have been peak for you, man. All right, Barrio, what do you think of Carlos Sanchez? Babs is delusion. Yeah, but he's very deluded. Alfie, how come she can't stand Charlene?
She's jarring.
Simple as that.
Like most of the more modern people on air TV nowadays.
Yeah.
The likes of Julian, the likes of Cecil.
Yeah.
These men are jarring.
This question's for you.
I'm not falling for that one, Dave. I'm not a dickhead. I'm not a dickhead.
Alfie, if you saw Rory or Julie in that game, would you ask them for a photo?
No. No chance. I'd rather watch paint dry.
Joe, I'm going to come back to this question, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to this question. It's a great question. Mike, you should tell Carefree Lewis to go on inside Chelsea with Olivia. You need to ask him, bruv. You need to ask him yourself, man. Another question. Oh, okay. Okay. These are good questions.
Do you know what? I actually think a couple of the questions I've seen from Barry, I think they might need to be done in separate videos.
Yeah,
I think we might have to go away and decide, because if we're looking at it like the question as it is, what 20 teams will make the perfect Premier League? Surely we've got to look at those clubs individually and decide what was their best season in the Premier League and pick that team. Because I could easily say a team like Portsmouth and go with their 07-08 team, the one that won the FA Cup.
But I think he's saying, like, if you had to pick a Premier League, like, it didn't, like, not necessarily like what team, the best team that came out of that, or like the most iconic. It's just like what teams. But that would still be a separate video.
Mm.
So this might be a separate video idea. Barrier. Another question. What are the top 10 Barclays Premier League ballers? In terms of ball, okay, before I answer that question, when you talking, are you talking like what I think you're saying, like cult heroes, and like when you say because you said Barclays, so we're talking cult heroes, or you do want the best of the best? Is that what we're doing? Like, I want just specify your question and I'll answer it that way. I started watching football World Cup 2014, and Sanchez died. He's one of my all-time favourites. All these players are okay. Fair enough. To be fair, fair enough. Carlos Sanchez in my childhood. Well, fuck Carlos Sanchez. But I guess it's a bit different for you. But specify your question, bro, because because if you're asking like Barclays, I ask you like, I mean like cult heroes. Okay, I'll come back to that. What happened to Johnny Mineros and Carefree? No idea. I don't know the history. But I know he used to go on the channel and then he did his own thing. I don't know. Top 10 Barclays Premier League ball. Again, this might have to be a separate video idea.
Yeah, I think we might have to plan these into the future, Mikes.
Yeah,
Barry, we might need to sit down and talk about these. But Barry, I appreciate the question, bro, because we're definitely going to go away and look at them.
Barry, these are going to be separate videos. We'll make videos specifically for these questions, trust me. And like cult heroes, because we could be here for another 2 hours minimum if we might have to do it as streams, you know.
Yeah.
We might have to do it as like extra streams. That go.
Make sure if you guys want to see that, make sure you hit the like button down below.
Yeah. And on that note, people, we are going to end it there. It's been a fantastic stream. 2 hours long. Fucking hell. We always go off on a tangent. That's what we love. Because like this could have been the fucking, like, you would like to think when people do the similar collaborations all the time and it hasn't been a game yet, that would become the same stream. When it comes to me and Alfie, it never goes that way because we always go left, and the chat has been fantastic as always, as you guys always are. But listen, it's been great. Alfie, your link is in the title, but where can people find you and what have you got coming up?
At AlfieD_YT on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is where you can find me on those social platforms. And as for what I've got coming up, as obviously today, I brought out the match preview for the Arsenal West Ham game. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check it out after the stream ends. And as for what I've got coming up, it'll be the match review tomorrow, which will probably come out around 7 o'clock. Discussing what goes on to happen in tomorrow's game. Whether you want me to come on for a stream later on tomorrow, to discuss what happened in the game, I'm happy to do that as well.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. Yeah, discuss that. Alfie's link to his match preview is here, people. So yeah, go and check it out. Make sure to like the video, people. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. The watch along is tomorrow, people, at 2:45. I'll see you guys later.